Yo, episode 16 of the Gaming Memories podcast, where I, Cade Call, your host, aka Robo Clip, the motherfucking blessed beatmaker, interview creative and interesting people about your favorite gaming memories, not your favorite gaming memories, their favorite gaming memories growing up. And on this episode of the podcast, we have prolific audio-visual artist LEViT TE. Now, I know I say basically every artist that comes on the podcast is prolific, and they are. I've only had dope people on the podcast because, newsflash, I have great taste. So listen to me. I'm the prophet. I'm the gaming god's duly anointed one true prophecy and a revelator. I know what's dope. You don't know what's dope. Your opinion means nothing because I speak to the gods themselves. And I'm telling you, LEViT TE is ordained by the music and visual gods. He is the motherfucking man. I will put all the applicable links in the podcast description. I highly recommend checking his shit out. The best way that I could describe his music is the best way I could describe it is if a artificial intelligence that's like way beyond any human capabilities. Like we're talking is it Moore's law, the exponential increase in computing power? Basically, an artificial intelligence that looks at humans like little ants. It's just so much more aware than us puny humans and our puny brains. If this artificial intelligence lived in the Blade Runner universe and made music based on Deftones and metal and rock, that would be LEViT TE. With a little touch of trap in there, just a little smidgen, a little seasoning of trap. That's LEViT TE. It is some, like, if you're into the darkness, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into Trent Reznor, if you're into Lorne, who we nerd out about on this podcast, I'll have to admit, we didn't talk a ton about video games. We started talking about video games and we got sidetracked about music and movies and sci-fi, which is fine by me because I love all of those things. LEViT TE channels all of those. It's kind of like a unique darkness, a unique flavor that's very hard to find. And if you're a flan, Jesus Christ, I drink way too much alcohol to do this audio intro, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway, and I'm not going to cut this shit out. If you're a fan of that flavor, of that sci-fi darkness flavor, LEViT TE is your man. It's one of the few places you can get that flavor, and I love that flavor. I highly recommend him. Again, all the applicable links are going to be in the podcast description. I'll also admit that I was legitimately fanboying the fact that he said yes to be on the podcast. I've been a fan of his music for a very long time, and since the podcast, I've been putting his music on heavy rotation, and a older track that I wasn't aware of previously is called War Ready. I think it's from 2017 or 2016. I don't know how I missed it, but god damn, that shit is fire. It slaps. It's him and a rapper who I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, but he's probably not going to listen to this, so whatever. I think it's Macintosh or Macintosh. I think it's a rip on Macintosh computers. I don't know. I'll put a link to that specific song in the description as well. Check his music out. He is a prolific music producer, and on top of that, he makes all of his own visuals. He had a recent release come out called Cross Me, and he did the music video for that as well. He does Cinema 4D, 3D visuals, and for someone who's only been doing Cinema 4D from what I can gather for a handful of years, he is pretty close to top tier when it comes to 3D shit as well. So someone who's multi-talented in that way, it's pretty hard to come across, and you'll learn about his his grind, him coming up. He talks a lot about making the transition to being music full-time, doing visuals full-time, and how he handled that. And get on the LEViT TE train now, because homeboy is going to be way too famous and way too huge to be on a podcast like this in the near future. I am extremely grateful that he said yes. He came onto the podcast. It is a fantastic episode. I will note we had some audio issues early in the episode. He swapped mics and the audio gets much better in the first third of the episode. So bear with the beginning of the episode. His audio is a little bit off, but he switches mics and it becomes super clean and super legible later later in the episode. Other than that, as always, kids, remember, I'm the one true gaming prophet. I had talked to the gaming gods themselves, and this is the One True Gaming Podcast, and you will be blessed if you share the good news of the Gaming Memories Gospel, meaning like, share, comment, tell people about LEViT, tell people about the Gaming Memories Podcast, and the gods will open the windows of heaven and pour blessings upon you so great that there shall not be room to receive them. That's like some passages from the Bible. I think it's from Leviticus. I don't know. My Bible shit's getting a little bit rusty. It's been a long time since I've been knee deep in the Bible, but it doesn't matter because I'm a prophet and I don't have to practice what I preach, because prophets don't practice what they preach. They just collect money and women. Give me your money, give me your women, share the good news of the Gaming Memories Gospel, and check LEViT's music out. I say these things in the name of Miyamoto the Father, Kojima the Son, and Carmack the Holy Ghost. Amen, and enjoy the show.
Yes, sir. Seattle, Washington.
Seattle. Were you born and raised in Seattle?
Nah, man. I was born in Wasilla, Alaska, and I was raised in the woods in Vermont.
What age did you move to Vermont from Alaska?
2.
Okay, dang.
Yeah,
When you say in the woods, what do you mean by in the woods?
I lived a bit outside this small town called Lyndonville, Vermont. So it was like shit, man. Like there were like 300 people in the village that I lived in. But
okay,
surrounded by trees and shit. I lived at the base of like a ski mountain. This like really like random, far away, like deep ski mountain. Kind of like a secret little thing if like you're a tourist. Called Burke Mountain. So I lived in Burke. And yeah, I was like, I pretty much spent my childhood running around in the woods and shit. And snowboarding. A lot of snowboarding.
Nice. I did a lot of that too. I guess that's one of the good things about winter, is if you actually get to go boarding.
Yeah, I hate the winter, but I love snowboarding.
Yeah.
I don't like the cold, man. I spent too much time around that when I was a kid.
Yeah. So did you go straight from there to Seattle, or did you go anywhere in between?
No, I was really trying to like at least get like big sponsorships for snowboarding. So I moved straight to Lake Tahoe after high school.
So you went for it.
Yeah,
really, nice.
Yeah, I was really in there, man. Like I had like subjectively gnarly tricks. I wasn't like some of these dudes out here, you know, but I could do some shit, and I had like a little local sponsorship, but I never got any big ones. But I mean, I was talking to a rep for a minute, but yeah, I never like landed a big one. I think the biggest thing I did in snowboarding is I got finals in Trans Am, so like that is like more of like a rail competition, and I got finals in that. But after that year, man, like. Dude, you get like old so quick, and I got broke off like way too many times, and like, nah, the money isn't really good at like the level I would have been. Like if I would have stuck it out to go pro, dude, I would have been making like $40,000 a year, which is like when you're like 30 years old and like breaking yourself the fuck off. That's not really a good gig. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that makes total sense. The issue I ran into with snowboard, I didn't take it as far as you did, but I recognized pretty quick that I could practice hard and work hard, but I didn't have the same natural talent that other kids had. Like there's kids out there that just have really good like body dexterity and balance and awareness, and they learn. You have to go through 100 reps where you get injured to get something, and they have to go through 5 reps and they don't get injured because they nail it almost the first time. And you could just see the gap. Like I can't do this.
Yeah, I feel that. No, I don't think I wasn't like, I don't know, man. I could just kind of like send some shit, but like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's like superhumans out there on a snowboard that'll just like send fucking like, dude, if you're like, for instance, if you're like 11 years old and you can do like back sevens and shit off of like decent like, size jumps, like, yeah, you gotta like a fight. You got a chance at that shit. You know what I mean? But like me, dude, like no, I
No.
was alright, but not like that.
So when you were in the woods, when did you start? I remember when I texted you or Instagrammed you about that. You said that you didn't play a lot of games because your mom was pretty strict. So now I'm getting kind of the idea. All right, it's a really small town. Was she just like classic American strict, or was she religious strict? Mix of the two.
No, well, no, I paraphrased super tough when I said that. My mom's not strict at all. She just specifically disliked video games.
Oh,
Like,
just that one thing.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
like, for instance, like a better example of that kind of mindset is like we didn't have like cable television for probably like
Okay.
maybe like 10 or 12 years of my childhood. Like we only had cable TV for like a little bit, and it wasn't out of. I mean, like we were kind of broke, but it wasn't even that. It was more my mom just like really dislikes like consumerism and like
In
media
media.
and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But that's not me, man. I don't agree with her on that, but yeah, I played, but I had like the broke boy games. Like that was the thing. I had like computer games, and I had like a Game Boy. Like I had all that shit. Like, dude, I had like a Nintendo DS for a while. I had like all like pretty much like the broke guy games. Like, yeah,
What
games.
what's the first game you remember ever playing?
Mega Man.
Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, yeah. I had a Super Nintendo for a little bit. Or what the fuck, man? That was so long ago. No, I had a PlayStation 1. I had a PlayStation 1 for a little bit, and I got Mega Man on that. That was probably the first. It was either that or Sonic. I had Sonic on the computer, and dude, like I clocked fucking hours on that shit. Oh man, I was so
How
good
would
at Sonic.
Sonic on the computer? I wonder how that Sonic was it a PC?
Yeah, yeah, we were. I think it was Windows 98 at the
Oh
time. I'm
yeah,
like,
here it is,
old.
1991 Sonic. I didn't know that. I didn't know it had a PC release back then.
I
Damn,
went hard, dude.
nice.
If I yo actually yo all right, talking about like gaming though, when I was like 11 or something like that, 12, 13, like those years, dude, I was like god tier at Quake 3 on the PC. Like
Ooh.
that shit. Oh man, I could fucking murk fools with Quake 3,
First
dude.
of all, God tier is a term that I use and very few other people use, so I'm glad you used that term. Number one. And yeah, Quake 3, I could see that. So you were born, you're obviously pretty much quite a bit younger than me. What year were you born?
93.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, I had Mega Man so fucking late. Like that was the thing. Is my mom just got me like, you know what I mean? Like I had like,
I see what you mean. So they were the old cheap games. By the time
yeah,
you were playing them, yeah.
exactly. Like my homies were like on Madden and shit like that. Like they were like all the good shit, and I was like fucking playing Sonic.
Yeah,
And
so you're playing Sonic on PC when your friends have like, PS2, PS3, whatever what the equivalent would have been at that time.
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yo, Quake 3, oof. I
Quake
went in
3.
on that shit.
What
Yeah.
how can you stop playing Quake?
Man, that's a good question. I really don't know. I think it's because I got a Mac Mini like freshman year of high school for my video stuff because we were filming and editing snowboard videos. So I got a Mac Mini for that, and at the time it wasn't even a question. It was like you got no gaming on Macs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
They
Now
didn't.
you can kind of get away with like some of them,
Mhm.
but you at the time it was like no, definitely not. So I think at that time I just stopped like gaming altogether outside of Skate 3. See, we got Skate 3 at that time, or not Skate 3, but EA Skate at the time,
I remember
and
that. Yeah.
dude. So I still play Skate 3 like to this day. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
That's skateboarders. I haven't played 3. I've played the first one the most, the second one a little bit, but people swear by Skate 3. I noticed it has this cult following online.
yeah, that's no joke, dude. I'm part of that. Like that's like That shit is so real. Me, all of my homies, like all of my snowboard friends, like everyone in that community there, dude, everyone still plays skate. Like if you go to parties to this day in like Vermont or like snowboard towns, they're still playing Skate 3. Like they'll have like PS4s and shit like that, but like they're still playing Skate 3. Like that is like the best action sports video game for sure on the planet.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was popular, but I wouldn't. It kind of makes sense now, combining it in snowboard towns, places where skateboarding and snowboarding is going to make a lot of sense. I had Omar actually, who introduced me to your music, was on like 5 or 6 episodes ago, and that's
Nice.
all he remembers playing. He grew up skateboarding and rollerblading, and he actually brought up. You might have been too young, but do you remember a game called BMX Triple X?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like its selling point was that it was all mature, and if you got a high enough score, you could get like a video of a stripper at the end in every level. Every level had a different stripper, and like pre-internet days,
Yeah.
if you wanted to see some boobs, that was a pretty good option. And
Man, people really coded that shit.
I know,
Like,
it's crazy.
There's really a guy that coded that shit together. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, but he brought up Skate as well. Is one of the games that he remembered. Did you? Okay, so you would have had the internet basically from as soon as you probably came like 9, 10. You already had the internet for sure, right?
Yeah. We had a family computer. It was real like small town shit like that, or like you know what I mean. Like it was real middle America shit like that. We had like a family computer. From man, I was probably. I mean, we might have been a little bit late, but whatever fourth grade is, that's
You
when
had
I got
internet by then.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
9, 10, something like that.
Were you
Yeah.
getting into music at that time with the internet immediately? Did you already have kind of a thing for music?
Nope, super late. I was super late with music.
Interesting.
Not late in the sense of like some people like graduate high school and then start music. It wasn't
Yeah.
like that, but I was 14 when I started music. So
Oh, that's that's not late. What are you talking about?
I mean, like I started like DJing though. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like I didn't really learn music theory until like 18, maybe something like that,
Okay.
17.
I
But
meant like I guess I should have clarified produce. I started playing like instruments before 14, but I didn't start messing around with producing and I started messing around with recording, but actual producing, man, I was back in my mid 20s, 24, 25.
yeah,
So yeah, that's definitely I'm way later than you in that sense.
yeah. I've been in it for like 10 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing that for like 10 years.
Yeah. Damn, and I also want to go back. You mentioned you started messing around with video when you got the Mac Mini in school, which kind of makes sense because one of the things that's really stood out to me that when I record the intro for this, and I'm gonna like talk all this mad shit awesome about you because you're awesome is the video content, the 3D content. Since when you came to SLC, I think you remember you saying it was like your first tour or your first show with like the whole kind of live set. But you weren't, from my memory, I could be wrong, but I don't remember you churning out video content at that time. And then it just seemed like all of a sudden, not only were you making dope music, but I follow a bunch of Cinema 4D guys too, and your shit's just as dope as theirs, but you're doing both. And I just thinking like, how is he doing this?
Thanks, man. Yeah. So when I came to SLC, the only video that was being done was. I mean, besides like little edits, like the only video that was being done was of like other people would make it, right? So when I came to SLC, the thing there was that was the first time that I was doing like live sets, right? Like that was the first time that I started doing like stem mixing and playing all original sets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like live, you know what I mean? Like quote unquote live, not live, like I'm playing the instruments, but you know, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So
it's more live than I guess DJing.
Yeah, it's like and there's like things to it. I prefer doing that, but sometimes I'll just crank out a good DJ set for the fuck of it. But yeah,
it gets kind of boring just sometimes DJing. Do you get that? Sorry, sidetrack, but I wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, I just want to give them something different, man. I think like as artists, we should all kind of present something unique, and I think if everyone on a festival lineup is just getting on CDJs and playing songs that they like, that doesn't really separate one artist from another. Besides like their taste, which I guess is cool, but like. that's not like an objective separator, if that makes sense. Like that's not
Yes.
objectively different from one another.
If you really love their taste and align with them, it'll be a great show for you. But for everybody else, if there's nothing else to it, it's kind of a thin slice.
Yeah. Yeah, like for instance, like Kanye West is a crazy person, so I probably like wouldn't enjoy his taste in music, but I love his music, so I would like to see what he does for his performance. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if he was like doing a DJ set, I mean, it'd probably still be pretty good. But like, I don't think we would like relate 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would like, yeah. So I just feel like as artists, we should kind of make a point to do our own thing. But anyway, yeah, the video stuff came because I was really tired of like paying people.
Yeah.
And B, I kind of like saw my other friends doing it either for me or doing it, like friends that worked in visuals and stuff. And like I was like, yeah, I'm smart, and I've like worked with, you know, Premiere and After Effects a little bit, and like some video stuff. I've worked with that, so like I could probably just figure this out. But it was really when I started actually watching people doing it when I was like, yeah, I can definitely figure this out. And then I think I started right. What was it? It was, I want to say it was right before. No, sorry, I'm like trying to remember. So it was like right before, like 2 months before my EP Collapse came out, something like that. 2 or 3 months before Collapse came out, when I started actually doing CGI stuff, like 3D stuff. And then from there, it's just been a continuous push. Like I'm just kind of constantly trying to see how much I can do. And as far as like doing them both, like I get asked that question from time to time. And my answer is just like, it's really just, I dedicate a lot of time just to making art because I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. And when I get as much time, well, given as much time as I have to do that, I really just dedicate like 50-50. Like when I write a song, then I'll spend like a week writing a song, then a week making a visual, then a week writing another song, another visual, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or however long it takes me. You know what I mean? It's really like a 50-50 kind of thing.
Okay. And what was the learning curve, the barrier of entry for the Cinema 4D stuff coming from? Obviously, you understand layers in music, and you've tinked around with video. Was it when did it start becoming, oh, I can get the program to do what I want, and I'm really starting to be creative and figure things out? The timeline, I guess.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, I think I was fucking with some things. I kind of want to say it's 2019 now, so probably mid 2017, maybe like early 2017.
Okay.
And so it was about, that's when I started like working, in like CGI stuff. It was probably I'm not going to lie, I immediately made a flyer for a show that I was playing, like week 2 of working in CGI, something like that. But by the time it was like, oh, like I can really kind of hash out ideas, I'd say like 6 months in when it was like, oh, I can make something, but it's still trash. And I still think not trash, but like subjectively trash. But I still think most of what I make, with the exception of a few things, is not up to par with where I want it to be. Like with music, when I have an idea, I'm going to fucking nail that idea. Because I'm 10 years deep, like I get whatever I think of, I can just like ace in the hole, and I'm confident in saying that. But with visuals, that is not at all the case. It is maybe 70%. I can get 70% there, you know, but yeah.
Is your plan with that, aside from the marketing and the associated artworks and the release and all that stuff, are you incorporating that into your live sets, or planning on incorporating that into your live sets?
Yeah, I've done 3 so far.
Okay,
I've done 4 technically. Yeah, so I've done 4 so far. We did one here in Seattle for the Fatalism release, and it was just like this big hour-long cohesive audio-visual thing. It was fucking awesome, dude. Like I like threw that film. No, there's like a minute-long recap thing that I think is on my Facebook. We didn't like, record the whole set. But I threw that show and I like booked the Crocodile for it, and like the turnout was great, and the set went flawless. It was fucking awesome. But I've done it then, and then there's a live stream of like a basic version of the AV set on my YouTube, but it's kind of just like at the time I didn't really get like clip transitions that well, so it's more just like clip for clip, song for song, but they're like the music is mixed together, you know, and there is some like sick ass editing in there. I don't know. I'm still pretty proud of that. But there's an hour live stream of that set, which is pretty much the same as the Fatalism live set. And then I did Summer Meltdown in Washington, which was great, so sick. And then I did, Rochester, New York, like a month ago or something like that, a month and a half ago.
Nice. So is that going to be a permanent thing?
No.
Evolving it?
It depends. To be perfectly honest, it depends on the budget. That's like the biggest thing. I'm not gonna lie. It costs more money to do that because that's just more work that went into that set than like a DJ set. So when you like book me, that's like I have two quotes. I have like an audio visual set, and then I have
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I did like a show in Vegas that was just a DJ set. Not just, I don't mean to marginalize it, but it was a DJ set.
Yeah. And
then for this festival coming up, it's going to be a DJ set, but which is Nightfall. That's in like 3 days or something, like two or 3 days. But the reason that's going to be a DJ set isn't because of any like weird things like that, like the budget or anything like that. It's because that lineup is a bunch of like really gnarly bass DJs. It's like a lot of rhythm DJs and stuff like that. And I can't really get into my Blade Runner world in there. And like,
yes, Blade Runner.
Yeah, like those kids are going to be like hella disappointed by like a set that's more like, what's the word for it? Like stinky.
Cinematic, maybe.
Yeah, cinematic. They're going to get a little bit like frustrated with that because I'm like I think like Mantis is like right after me or something like that. Okay. So it's like I have to give them like what I think is like fucking bangers. But I'm still really excited about that set. Like, man, I'm cooking up fucking heat for that DJ set. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. I like that you brought up Blade Runner. Do you listen to Lauren at all?
Dog, favorite artist.
My favorite artist. He's probably he's definitely one of my most favorite. Yeah, he. That makes a lot of sense because one thing I was going to bring up, I've always have a hard time articulating people that make dark or heavy music. There's a certain flavor of dark music that is kind of hard to find. In my whole life, I found artists that kind of tap into, I don't even know what the word is for it. And you're there in like that spectrum, and Lauren is as well. I don't know what the word is. It's not like cheesy dark, like I don't know, Cannibal Corpse, some metal, or like Guar, but it's not like angry. I don't know how to. Blade Runner, intelligent dance music, cinematic. I don't know what the word is for it, but there's very few people that hit that niche, and you're one of them. And now it makes sense that you like Lauren because he's like the king of that, in my opinion.
He is. He's in my opinion as well. I call Lauren the perfect artist because he just hasn't slipped up, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, that dude's entire catalog and branding and everything is actually, like, more so than any other artist I've ever seen is, like, a flawless execution of his vision. Like, top pitch, he just never slipped up. There's not a point in time in his catalog where you're like, oh, that's, like, out of whack. Like, no, the whole thing, it makes total sense.
Yeah, I hit him. I had a couple conversations with him on Facebook. When I first came, I came across him late, by the way. It was probably like 3 years ago. So it's like a new favorite artist for me. It's when he released, I forget what the album's called. It's like black and white and has the mirror, has ice, is the first song. I can't remember.
Another one with ghosts on it.
Yeah, now I'm going to feel dumb. I can't remember it. That's the problem with Spotify and playlists. You don't remember stuff. It's just my Lauren playlist.
The Maze to Nowhere, that one, or Vessel? Vessel's right after that, but
it's the one that's got like a black and white. Vessel, 2016.
Yeah.
So I was a little I think Maze to Nowhere or Nothing Else. One of those came out on Brain Feeder which retrospectively, I guess, was his big break when I looked into him after getting into him. I think it was Nothing Else. But, yeah, so I didn't hear about him until Vessel came out. And since then, everyone's better, man. His newest one, Rarities, man, I don't want to talk about Lauren forever, but he's awesome because people here are going to be like, that's boring as shit. He's definitely an acquired taste. I show people Lauren and they're like, well, they're like, there's nothing special about this. And it just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it depends on how people look at music, right? Like it depends on what they're listening for. Like a lot of people are just kind of listening for like sonic like massages, if that makes sense. They want something to just sound cool and crazy and like occupy their time, their brain space, like their attention.
Yeah.
You know, that's how like a lot of people listen to music, or they want, or like kind of like with all due respect to a lot of people, the like kind of lowest, like the mass population, the like kind of like lowest common denominator really just wants to, they just like want something that's gonna, in a primal sense, like uplift their spirits and be catchy. That's like the biggest thing is like how.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Sometimes I view it as like the lowest common denominator, or sometimes if you flip it, that might be the highest common denominator.
Right, you're right.
And it's like, weird. It's a weird thing. It's like I have a love for pop music, and it has its place. And you're right. Like people, like I want to feel good, and the song's a powerful thing. It can make you feel good. Like my business partner, he's always like, "Why do you listen to this dark shit? Like there's enough darkness in life. I don't want to feel more angry or more frustrated." But I don't. It's like I don't know. If you don't have a taste for it, you don't have a taste for it. But if you do, Lauren is the shit. If you're listening, LEViT TE's the shit too. Lauren is also the shit.
Yeah. Continuing on that thought, I mean, like the thing with Lauren, I feel like if you're someone who listens to music to kind of like, I don't want to sound cheesy and say like expand your imagination, but if you're someone like that's listening to music for the sake of like, why did the artist do this? I need to understand what's going on in their imagination. You know what I mean? If you listen to music like that, I think Lauren is like excellent for that kind of shit. And there's a good amount of other artists like that. I like dark music because it validates how I feel, man. Like I think that's the psychology behind it. Like I like dark music because like things aren't always the most chipper in life, and frankly, to know that someone else even if they're not there with me, but someone else wrote something that empathizes with that, it validates my feelings and it lets me know that like you're not alone, and like there's a reason that you feel this way because other people feel this way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, there's like nothing better than when you're in like a shitty mood and then you find a song that just like hits the nail on the head for that mood, and then it's somehow okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the feeling that I get from Lauren in some of your music's pretty heavy in a good way, and I sometimes I lean towards the chill side. But it's like darkness, but there's a sense of hope. Like, yeah, life sucks, but I'm gonna keep going.
Exactly.
That's what Lauren, kind of a bigger picture, feels like to me. Totally.
I like with my music, I'm just like. I'm like, if life sucks, just fucking kill everything. No, I'm just kidding. No, I look at a lot of my stuff like just fucking purging aggression, I guess. Like the same reason I was.
But you go in between, like when I think it's fatalism, the one with like the butterfly that's burning, right? Is that fatalism? Yeah, I sent my brother's also a big Lauren fan, and we geek out about Lauren, and I sent him. I forget which track because of Spotify, I believe. Well, I sent him one of the tracks from Fatalism. I'm like, hey, this guy's like Lauren. And that song specifically, there were some sections that were more ambient. And you have like motifs, like people who are into music. I'm like, why the fuck are you not talking about video games? But anyway, yeah. You do both, but you also like to party. You can party.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to blood rave. Like that's what I like, dude. Like when I like to party, like I want it to be fucked up. I want it to be dark ass shit.
I've never heard blood rave. I love that term.
Like in that scene in Blade.
I've had speaking of dark music, I've had a couple other producers on that are definitely not the same vein as you. Like I would put like Lorne. I guess, do you know who Decay is? He's from Salt Lake. SL, got like really long curly hair. It's more like Monster Cat style
Yeah,
bass music.
yeah, that rings the bell. Heavy.
He really likes Tool. We have like a common ground of Tool. I bet you like Tool. I'm assuming you would.
Yeah, well, I slept on Tool really tough. I like a bunch of their music, but the reason I slept on Tool is because my sister was such a fan, and I was like, when I was younger, my sister's older than me, so when I was younger, I was like, nah, that's like lame shit. Like my sister likes that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I
but
just
no,
they hit that kind of like darkness, but not cheesy darkness, authentic darkness sort of
yeah.
mark as well, which is why I like them.
I think they're really great. I think they're extremely good musicians, but I was just so late in life when I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should listen to Tool. You
I
know?
just saw them live, and the actually what stuck out to me wasn't the music was awesome, their musicianship was awesome, but the stage production, the visuals were something I had never seen. You know, like they made everybody sit. Like even in GA in the flat, there was no sit, like no standing. Everyone was seated, and you couldn't take your phone out. Like they would literally, they would kick you out if they saw you on your phone. The guy would come, and I saw like they were strict about it, and it was like crazy. But they advertised it everywhere, like as you're walking in, like this is for real. We will take your phone away, and it created an atmosphere where like everyone was there for the performance. There was no socializing. There was no like drunk people wandering around and paying. Like we were there to see a show.
Yeah,
and I was refreshing because mostly I go to clubs, and when I go out, I see friends play. It's like a completely different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to have the ability to do that one day, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm so far from there right now because, like, if I told people about my show, like, they'd be like, all right, dude, I'm fucking leaving. But, like, no, one day, man, that would be so cool. I get really frustrated, dude. I get super frustrated at that. I think I just saw this clip on Twitter, maybe yesterday or this morning or something like that, where like it was at the sudden death. It was like sudden death's like opening show or something like that in his tour, where it's like he has like his AV set now, and it was his opening song, and like I shit you not, in this shot, which ironically was being filmed by a phone, you can see about like 700 phones. Like it's like every other person in the crowd is like filming on their phone.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You want to remember it.
Yeah.
But like there's like YouTube video. Evidently there's 700 YouTube videos of this. So you can probably put your phone away. You know?
Yeah, I thought that was a good move by them. And it actually their audio visual set, it just made me think of like, okay, I could see you turning into like a show like that. Or do you know X and G from SLC as well?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, yeah, they're Omar's homies with them. They're homies with us. They showed me a guy called Woodkid. I don't know if you've heard of Woodkid.
I don't know.
He's some French dude, and what he does is he composes everything, like the visuals. It's kind of weird, but at first when you see it, but it makes sense when you know everything is written, composed by him, all the music, the orchestra, the visuals, but then he just comes out on stage and kind of dances in front of like his creation, audio, visual, orchestra. It's got dancers. It's got like a fucking snare. You know what they're called? Marching band dudes. They're all moving. Yeah. And it's all his like composition. Gazia from X and G showed him to me.
That's fucking insane. By the way, I just realized you're probably getting a bit of, oh, that's a shame. I don't know where they are. You're probably getting like a bit of feedback from my computer.
Let us see.
Yeah. Shit. Actually, you know what? I think I lost my headphones, but
okay.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let me just plug in my headphones because I just realized there's probably a good amount of bounce back. But yeah, so that's insane. What you just told me, that sounds extremely interesting. What was his name? Woodkid. So it's like an orchestra then.
Yeah, it's orchestra. I don't know if it's I don't know what the correct terminology for a full orchestra is, but it looks like a full orchestra to me. Marching band players, dancers, audio visuals in the background, lighting, and it's all his. And then he just kind of stands on stage and like dances and moves around, but it's all his. If you don't know that and you're just watching it, you're just like, why is there's a guy just dancing? But then when you know, it's like, oh, this is his whole thing. Oh, I lost you. Now I can't. You're probably your headphone mic. Uno momento, folks. We can just look at his beautiful smile while he figures this out. Oh, shit. Looks like it's just me. It's just me.
All right.
He's back. There we go.
You have audio?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sound good.
Great. I don't know if it's coming from my laptop or my headphones at this point, but as long as
it's your headphones. There's less room tone.
Oh, so, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Woodkid because that's something that that's a level I've always wanted to get to. So were his visuals CGI or were they like filmed?
More film based than CGI based. I was gonna ask about your CGI stuff, and I thought the reason why I reached out and I was like, dude, he's got to be into gaming because some of your CGI stuff reminds me of like sci-fi and some video game art aesthetics that I really enjoy. So I sort of assumed that you would be gaming as part of the inspiration going into your CGI.
I have not. I mean, like, how do I put it? Yeah, I'll be honest. Gaming outside of a few maybe isn't a huge source of inspiration because more often than not, I'm kind of trying to emulate something I saw in film.
Okay.
You know, and bring it to the 3D world. That being said, there's a few exceptions there, though. I think Quake 4 for Xbox 360 had an amazing look to it, and I think all of the Doom series has looked really fucking cool.
Yeah.
There's a few others in there. I think that new Destiny looks really, really cool too. I was just watching my roommate play that, and like, damn, that is a beautiful, beautiful game. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, there's a lot of games that really miss the mark. Like, in my opinion, this is totally subjective, but in my opinion, a lot of games overdo that kind of like cliche cyberpunk, quote unquote, aesthetic, and they make it really poppy. Like, it makes it almost like everything's super bright colors and like poppy and cliche and almost like an upbeat version. It's like a major key version.
I know exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's like brutally overdone. Like, brutally overdone in video games. But there are some gems out there. There are serious gems out there. Yeah, I think a lot of the inspiration though is mostly film. There's like, and weird shit too. Super weird shit. Like H.R. Geiger's shit with like Alien was so cool. And just like, I don't know, other artists too, naturally. Like Former is always doing incredible stuff. He's super inspiring. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
I think it's probably because, I mean, gaming pulls from film all the time as well. I mean, film's sort of the OG, and that's in the visual space. And so, there might be some overlap where I'm seeing something that, like, oh, in your work that reminds me of something that I've been exposed to in the gaming. But you guys might have a common ancestor when it comes to inspiration.
Yeah, I just remembered Kojima is like the sickest.
Yeah, Kojima. He's so my joke with the podcast is the reason I asked about strict parents, I grew up super strict Mormon parents, and it's like, as a joke about it now, the joke with the podcast is that the holy trifecta of gods, Miyamoto the Father, Kojima the Son, and John Carmack the Holy Ghost, commanded me to make the one true gaming podcast, which is just kind of making fun of Mormonism, me coping with, I was raised in a completely false paradigm. All right, cool. Well, we'll figure this out as we go. Yeah. But Kojima, I put Kojima when I was thinking about, like, if I want to make a mock sort of godhead for video games, Kojima's the son. I mean, he's Jesus. He's a legend. I mean, he's like the Lorne equivalent of Lorne for me when it comes to video games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in that dude's in all the Metal Gear like catalog, you don't really see like cringe moments. That doesn't really happen in like not even Metal, just all of his catalog, honestly. You don't really see a lot of cringe moments besides maybe the fact that like 20 people are named Snake in Metal Gear. But like outside of that,
Can get a little confusing.
Yeah, it gets extremely confusing. Like, I was watching playthroughs of like super early, like the first Metal Gear, and it was like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, he like the art direction though. There's not really any cringe moments. And dude, like Death Stranding, what the fuck, man?
I was gonna
That's
ask.
so sick.
I was gonna ask if you've been watching the art style for Death Stranding, just the look. And sort of what I can pick up from the lore of the world he's building, like it's. I'm really, really intrigued. It comes out, I think, in like a week or 2 weeks. It's just getting close.
It comes out on like PlayStation first or something like that. But the PC drop is like
2020. Yeah.
It's like a few months out. But yeah, I'm fascinated. That game seems to validate a lot of things that I've been thinking are really dope. You know what I mean? Like it, like a lot of ideas that I've kind of had, or like even just shit like as basic as like textures and color palettes and that kind of stuff, and just general ideas that I've had in the back of my head, or like that I've been working on. To see that game drop, it validates that shit on like another level. It's like, oh my god, he had the same kind of basic ideas that I had, but made them like 100 times cooler.
Did you start developing a taste for the darker side of visuals and music as a kid in the small wood town? Forest town? Wood town, God, my English. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, my little small town in the woods.
Small town,
yeah.
Why couldn't I remember that?
Yeah, man, no, I ain't never like bright shit.
So from the get-go, you've always been attracted to the dark side of the Force?
Yeah, I mean, like, besides maybe, like, fuck, even in grade school, I listened to really, like, gnarly shit, but,
What'd you listen to in grade school?
Dude, but, like, you gotta keep in mind, like, I was a grade schooler.
I won't judge you. Dude, I guarantee my list is worse, so don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, like, I was listening to, like, a lot of, like, Jedi mind tricks, like, as if I was, like, hard in grade school.
That's not that bad.
But, like, and Linkin Park, like, I fucking loved Linkin Park in grade school.
I like Linkin Park a lot.
I actually still to this day, man, like they have their early stuff, like specifically Hybrid Theory and like Meteora. Yeah. Like that song.
Yeah.
That songwriting. Yeah. Their songwriting is so fucking good. It's so good.
I've always, speaking of like the whether it's the lowest common denominator or the highest common denominator, I always felt like Linkin Park was like, look, they can make a pop song anytime they want. Like they know. They have the art down, but they also can make heavy stuff, and they're putting it together in a way where you get this kind of, what's that meme where it's like the white muscle arm clasping the other black muscle arm, and it's like something they agree on. And it's kind of like pop fans and like rock and metal heads can agree on Linkin Park. And I know they're not the most heady type, like they're pop, whatever, but man, they do that balance, I think, better than anyone I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, especially like kind of in the middle of their career. Dude, they did fucking Reanimated. Like, I feel
so good.
Like I feel like people like really forget about that because like that project is so sick. Yeah, them and I wasn't listening, dude. So I wasn't listening to the Deftones when I was a kid, but right now, the Deftones are like my like from that era of like people call that new metal. I guess like Deftones are new metal, but not like that. They're not Fred Durst new metal,
No,
but
they're not that kind of new metal.
Yeah, from that era, like Deftones still like is a huge inspiration.
I'd be interested. So now that you've got into them retroactively, because I've always had this theory. Preface this. I've always had a theory that a band's usually in a band's life cycle, they'll have like one or two albums that hit at the kind of the beginning of their rise, and those are usually considered the best albums because that's where like the most loyal fans were birthed. And I just see this pattern all the time, and I always thought like, well, if no one knew about this band and then all of a sudden we had access to all 10 of their albums, would that album really be considered their best album in retrospect? So I'm asking you, coming into Deftones late, what album's your best album?
Well,
because if you say White Pony, then you're gonna ruin my theory.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, Deftones is like a bad example because even like hard Deftone heads like still say White Pony is the best album. Like,
it is. I think it's the best album, but I don't know if that's my bias because that's the album that introduced me to Deftones. And when you're a teenager, those are like when your idols, like there's a magic age when it comes to music or video games or movies, from like 12 to 18, like that's where your taste is kind of brewed. The taste that's going to carry you for the rest of your life. And you and I have a little overlap in the darkness world of the taste. And that's why I'm like, I love Deftones as well. But White Pony was like the album.
Yeah, dude. Like I agree with that. I have like 4 songs on rotation from White Pony still, like regularly. I listen to a grip of their albums too, but they go in like if I'm speaking like totally honest and subjectively, they get really into that like I want to say like 90s kind of like eerie shit. They go like way deep into that where it's like kind of hard, but also like sounds like I don't like psychedelic rock kind of some shit. I don't know, man. Like it's kind of that ambiguous kind of vibe, but it was like on White Pony from my experience, just from like listening to a grip of their music. It was like on White Pony where Chino hits that fucking angst, that good ass angst that you want, that's like where I heard it really nailed. There's a few songs from that whatever that album is where it's like that fucking super close up picture of that girl. There's a few songs on that album that I think are kind of close.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but on White Pony, like, dude, it's like Pink Maggot on White Pony where you're like, fuck, like that is like perfectly like angsty. You can feel the tension through that song, the album version.
This is a perfect segue into the next thing I wanted to ask. Because you talked about Reanimation, which wasn't the 90s, but it was early 2000s, where this audio aesthetic and visual aesthetic that's like kind of dark, but there's a certain flavor of darkness that I really like that's hard to find. And sometimes I trace it back to the 90s or like Depeche Mode for me.
Ooh,
like Violator,
one.
when the album Violator and Songs of Faith and Demotion, which is also when he got into heroin, and White Pony is when Chino was into heroin. So maybe it has something. Maybe it has something to do with heroin. But
I was just talking with my friend about people writing music on heroin the other day. Actually, I have this friend who actually like is an ex-heroin addict, and he has his shit together super well now, and he's an incredible artist. But we were talking about people making art on heroin, and how like so much of like Roger Waters' music, he was like evidently on heroin, and like really, really good shit too, like amazing records are about or while he was, and what my friend said is he was like, dude, I don't get it at all. He's like, I did heroin a bunch of times and like never once did I think about writing good music. So I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, that's but in that 90s, like early 90s, you had Depeche Mode. You had like kind of EDM. So at least you would have been, I mean, you were born later. So in the 90s for me, like only electronic music that was dance was like weird German techno stuff, right? We just everyone in America was like, oh, techno. It just is a big mass label, techno. But we had electronica, where it was like Depeche Mode, people who were doing electronic stuff, but it wasn't dance music. So that's what I grew up on. It was like, and what about you? What were you listening to,
dude,
for the 90s stuff?
This had to be late 90s though. It's hard to pinpoint it because like, sidetrack. A lot of my music taste when I was a kid comes from my best friend's brother's iPod. So like I bought this iPod. Yeah, dude. Like
it's weird how the world works that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he had sick taste in music, and he had like 10,000 songs on this thing. And so like I bought this dude's iPod, and it was just like everything, you know. So it's hard to pinpoint when a lot of this stuff was, but like Chemical Brothers,
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like as far as electronic stuff, Chemical Brothers were huge, huge. And like Prodigy, but I think that's like more like really early 2000s, late 90s stuff. Like when did the Fat of the Land drop? Is that like
I should know that. Let me look it up. Fat. I want to say
this might be like 99. Like I'm not really sure though.
97.
97. Okay, yeah.
97, yeah.
So yeah, like Prodigy for electronic stuff, but for like rock stuff, I mean, or like anything, like you know, any like organic kind of music in the '90s. I mean, like yeah, when the year 2000 was when I was 7, but of course, like I was listening when I was like younger, when I was listening to music like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, there was still a good amount of shit from the '90s. Nirvana was right on like
Yeah.
regular, you know, like that Nirvana was on rotation. And then, dude, like more overwhelming than anything though, hip hop. Like all of East Coast hip hop from the '90s, like still to this day. Illmatic on rotation. A lot of Mobb Deep shit, a lot of Big. A Tribe Called Quest was like my favorite for a really long time, but like this is fucked up to say now because my 14-year-old self would like kill me. But like I don't really vibe with that shit like when the same way I did when I was a kid.
Well, I'm surprised. I liked them growing up too, but I was surprised when you said that because they're like the opposite of hard. They're like happy, like yo, what's up, bro? It's
That's
fun
why,
times. It's fun
yeah,
times, but it's not dark by any stretch of the means.
exactly. Like the times when I was really listening to them heavy was when I was like 12 and 13 for a few years. But it was like everything on my catalog was like fucking gnarly or like super gangster rap, like at least like '90s old school gangster rap kind of shit. And then when I turned like when I moved away and like grew up a bit, you know, like was a real adult, I came back to Tribe and was like, yeah, like I like I
It's
like
not working.
yeah, like I like this stuff, but like I don't like I don't
I
know,
don't
man. It's hard
like
to say.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
about
yeah.
movies? Because was there any movies that stuck out to you that you kind of think that sort of formulated your taste that you're now expressing?
Fuck yeah, Fight Club, dude.
Fight Club. Yeah, that makes sense.
God, there's a lot, dude. I have to really think about that though, dude. Like, oh man, I'm like, man, that makes me like drop the OG Blade Runner, but that was when I was like, that was before like
Did you
I was
like the new
born.
Blade Runner?
I like the new Runner equally as the old Blade Runner. It's like a flat
I'm going
thing
to
for
say
me.
something even slightly more blasphemous. I like it
Yeah.
more.
I don't. I
Slightly
think
more. Like, just, it's kind of like, what am I weighing? Like, obviously the production value of the new one
yeah,
is light years beyond.
yeah.
There's some more things about the original that's more magical, but like, I don't know. I saw it in IMAX the first time, and I went and saw it the next day and brought my wife. I was like, this is something you have to see in a theater. You're not going to
Oh yeah,
get the full experience seeing this at home. Like, we're going to go see this in IMAX tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. I get that. I think the new one, yeah, the production quality is way better, and the pacing is even better, and it's slow as fuck. But like the old Blade Runner, the pacing is like if you're not in it for like aesthetic
You're
purposes,
going to
like
lose. Yeah, you're going to get lost.
yeah, dude, it's like almost unbearable, you
Yeah.
know, because it's so yeah, it draws on so much. The thing, my big beef with the new one though is that Hans Zimmer scored the new one, and I think he botched it, dude. Like if you asked me to score Blade Runner, like, or even asked me who I would suggest to score Blade Runner, holy hell, would the soundtrack have been so much better? Like, it's entirely made up of drones. It's like simple drones, and the sound design is not even like it's not even progressive. Like it doesn't, dude. They
Yes.
don't. Yeah, they don't have.
I agree with you 100%. When I first saw it, I guess I interpreted it as like this was like an artistic move to be this sort of really simple, Like maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe I had bias because I was like, oh, it's Blade Runner, so I already think it's the best thing in the world because I've already decided it's the best thing in the world
Yeah,
before I saw
yeah,
it. There's probably some of that going on. The only thing that comes to mind is the opening shot where they're showing him flying over like the mega farms. It's in like the first like 5 minutes. I remember
yeah.
liking the sound design for that, but as you were talking, I'm like, you know what? Other than that one moment, nothing else sticks out to me from the whole movie.
Dude, yeah, like so even from a music theory standpoint, their drones are made up of like root and third notes. It's like basic shit like that. Like it was all of their I remember like the melodies that they chose for drones or like the notes even that they chose for drones are like not even hitting, man. Like I
Yeah.
can I can think of like because really drones are made up but they're just big chords, right?
Mm.
Like it's like, you know, 6 notes or something like that. And like I just even remember like, dude, this is just like it's almost like Hans Zimmer slept on it. Really tough. If you ask me, like I would have had Tice score Blade Runner. He's like one third of Noisia. Rest in peace. And
Yeah, I just
like
saw that headline. I guess they're like one more tour and they're done, right? Or
yeah, I mean I can't be hurt because they're grown men and they know what they're doing. So like
yeah.
there's obviously like there will be good content to come out from all three of them. But you know we all love Noisia.
Okay, so
So.
your first pick would be Tice from Noisia. Who did your second pick be?
John Hopkins.
John Hopkins. Okay, third pick.
Third pick. Hold on, Lauren.
Okay, I would have said Lauren number one. I'm
Yeah.
thinking real time. Number two would be actually someone I just recently came across. So this might be recency bias because I'm in love with him right now. His name is Anthony. Let me just Google it. Anthony Balbino. Anthony Baldino. So let me read you his rap sheet. Anthony Bal. You'll recognize some of the movies. He just came out with. He came out with like a IDM modular, like a all modular synth album the other day. Did you ever listen to Triphonic? Back in the day,
Triphonic.
Triphonic. They're kind of. I think you'd like them. They're more down tempo but dark. It's not heavy.
I'll check it out.
But it's dark and it's down tempo. They tweeted about him, but he has done what movies was it? Music department. Whatever. I can't remember. I don't want to waste your time. But anyway, he's like a new guy, Anthony Baldino, and then number 3, Blade Runner. I literally have no idea.
Yo, One O Tricks Point Never would be hella good though.
Have you heard of Monument?
Monument.
Monument. You'd like him.
I'll check him out.
He's a Lorne I don't want to say Lorne copy if he ever comes across this, but when I heard him, I'm like, oh, someone who like can actually kind of hit that same taste that I can rarely get. That was like the first thing that came to me. So it's a compliment, not a diss in any way, shape, or form. He's homies with Mad Zach.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like kind of in that realm. Anyway, that's interesting you brought it up, that you didn't like the soundtrack. I never thought that, but nothing stands out to me. So what,
the thing is like, that's like my dream gig. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I was going into the movie like, dude, oh, what they cook up, like, the best of the best. Like, this is probably going to be incredible here. You know, what do they got?
Yeah.
And then I just walked away like, dude, that was not anything. That was so boring with like the soundtrack or the score.
Well,
like,
levitate for Blade Runner 2095.
Let's get it.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
But, I really like the lore in that. Not the lore. I say something else that maybe we have a shared common interest in is what I like about Blade Runner is they have like a really well thought out world, but they don't just overtly explain everything how the world works. You sort of pick up from like watching things in what I liked is Jared Leto's character.
Yeah,
a blind guy with like the drones.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
They go way more in depth with the web series on that.
There's
on
2
him.
episodes, right? Or is
There's
there more?
3.
There's 3. I missed the
Yeah.
3rd one then.
Dude, they're hard to find now because I don't think they like kept the servers up for that whole thing. So it's like not the easiest to find all 3 of them. It's like I remember going back and trying to find all 3 of them, and it's like a fucking like what's the word for it? Like a goose chase. You know what I mean? It's
Wild
like
Goose Chase.
yeah, or it's like a scavenger hunt. It's hard to make it to really find all of them. But yeah, there's 3 of them, and one of them they really dive into Jared Leto's character. It's pretty dope.
Is that the one where he like shows up to a guy's desk? He's like negotiating the deal for something, and he has like the androids with him. I forget how it played out, but there's like the mic drop moment. Where,
yeah, because so with that storyline, like the replicants, like dude, man, this is some nerdy shit to talk about.
Man, that's what we're here for. It's a fucking video game podcast.
That's so funny. Okay, yeah. So you got in the storyline, replicants like rebelled, like they became like self-aware, and they weren't disciplinary anymore. They weren't like fully disciplined anymore, and so they banned the production of replicants.
Oh, that's
but
what
Jared,
it was. He's trying to undo the ban. Yeah. Right?
Because he makes like new replicants. He makes like better replicants, like his company does. And then he gets all these like like whatever like movers and shakers in a room, and dude, it's so fucked up, man. Like they have like the 2 replicants there just standing next to him the whole time, and then he drops the ball and he's like, yeah, these are replicants, and then he was like, grab that piece of glass right there, and the replicant does it, and then he's like, Kill yourself.
Yeah.
I
remember.
Dude,
oh yeah.
Fucked up. It's fucking gnarly, man.
Yeah. I remember watching that and being like, why? I don't know why they chose to do a web series in between the first 2 movies. I guess the movie was already long.
Yeah.
But I remember telling people, because some people went and saw it and they didn't like it. And I was like glowing reviews. I'm like, they need to see the web series. And I remember that one standing out to me. I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. Because in the movie, he gets a little bit of screen time, but he's just kind of this like austere, mystical guy that you don't really know much about him other than he's super rich and he has like 10 eyes that float around him. And he looks really cool. Yeah. But
yeah, it is like that movie is so ambiguous if you're not like a fan of the story.
Yes,
like it just makes it it's not that it makes no sense, but it's like it's a guessing game. It's more like atmospheres if you don't understand what's really happening. Like even after I watched both the movies, I still had to like backtrack and like watch them again in the web series and to understand like everything that's happening, because there's a lot of just shit that they like leave you to assume happened.
Yes,
But
that's where you get like good discussion boards. I mean, sometimes my favorite thing is to hop on Reddit and see what people are talking about and see like kind of the discourse that's being inspired. Sometimes it's just dumpster fire, but sometimes it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I totally agree. Reddit's rad for that. I need to use Reddit more. I get occupied with like the dumb stuff like Facebook and Instagram, dude. It's too convenient. Dude, it's like right there.
Facebook is I will admit it. Like I have done lots of drugs. I've done all sorts of things. Nothing has hooked me in a way like as pernicious as Facebook. I legitimately have an addiction.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm getting better at avoiding Facebook now because I've noticed that the ratio of positive to negative information is like overwhelmingly negative. Like every time I'll go there, it's probably like, for me, for my timeline and stuff, it's like 3-1 negative to positive, as far as like whether you're seeing comments that are, what's the word for it? Having, there's like, whether you're seeing confrontational, like conflict comments, or, or you're seeing just posts that are about trash, like some dumb political thing that is just ethically fucked up, or it's just like hating, which is the most like,
yes,
my Facebook is overwhelmed with like just negative stuff. Like even if they have this is what I think people really sleep on, is like, even if you have a point, it doesn't better any situation to express that point. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that I dislike that I think are distasteful, but it's not fixing anything for me just to be on social media and be like, yo, fuck that guy. Like that doesn't do anything. Like
it doesn't help anything.
Yeah, besides it riles 20 people up to be like, yeah, I also don't like that guy's stuff. And then it's like, what did you guys even accomplish there? You know
the problem is, mine is probably worse. I say it's like 5-1. And I don't like sit and browse it, I guess. But the problem is like when I'm bored, like I have like a 5 minutes in between something. It's like it's an instinct. Instagram or Facebook. Yeah. Boom. One of the two. Instagram's better because your Explore tab is shit. It's the opposite. The algorithm's like, this is all shit you like. Here's some cyborg pictures. Here's some CGI. Here's some music. Here's some drumming. Here's some MMA. It's like, I can't stop. It's also cool.
Yeah, and it's also visually driven content.
Yes,
there's not a lot of dialogue. Outside, like Twitter is an exception, I think, because Twitter is mostly like jokes, but there is a ton of back and forth on Twitter. But they're really like cutthroat. You know what I mean? That the kind of community in there is like really like not a lot of bullshit goes on, I guess, compared to Facebook though, where people will have long-winded conversations about stuff, and it's dark and bad and mean.
It can get crazy.
Yeah, rude as hell. People are super rude. And I'm not saying that as like an internalized thing. I actually don't engage with it a lot. I just watch. And I'm like, oh my God, you people are like so fucking passionate. It's like you're passionate about what? You know what I mean? What are you passionate about right now? You're passionate about just like the most random shit. You know what I mean? Like they'll put their whole like afternoon on the line to discuss like
vaccines or some shit.
Vaccines, thank you. That was vaccines. Like, oh my God, are you kidding me right now? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of that. I don't want to say anything too divisive. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Speaking of, as it leads into my next question I was about to ask is, what do you do? Like, how do you approach social media as from promoting yourself as an artist? How do you view it as, because I do marketing as my day job. I still make music for fun, whatever. I'm at home all day either making music or doing marketing, but I don't really mix the two. They're kind of two separate worlds. And I've thought like, what do you find right now is the most effective way to grow your brand?
Oh man, I don't know if I'm like the guy to ask for that, because I play the long game. I play like a long, genuine game. As far as
your
like
music style is kind of geared to that too. You don't have. It's going to be, you're creating devoted fans for a lifetime.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. And like, I'm not saying one way is better than another, although I have noticed that I've been able to, this sounds like really sellout-y, but like, believe me, like I'm just trying to eat here. So like, I have noticed that it's easier to kind of like monetize my brand than a lot of other people's brands. So like other people's brands I'll notice will have like, I don't know, maybe like 2 times the following I have on stuff, but it's a lot more difficult for them to really like pay rent, you know? And I've noticed because my fans are fucking awesome.
You have a very unique flavor, so they're there for you.
Yeah.
They're there for
and
you.
They're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can get the paid downloads, and I can get the Patreon members, and I can get the people who buy merch and like go to the shows and stuff, because it's luckily enough, like I make real genuine fans. And for me, that's just rent. You know what I mean? I can still pay my bill. I can pay my bills off that, which is awesome. With marketing though, there's not a lot of suggestions, man. Like I did like a long video on everything that you can do on my Patreon, but pretty much it's just this long list of like, if you guys don't know, like you can make your own art with Photoshop, and you can, you know, so you can make an account with a PRO and, you know, join BMI, and then you get performance right royalties, you know, all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, like, I think just like cranking out the most content and doing everything you can with it is like the best you can do.
Extracting as much value out of it once you've got it out. Yeah.
Exactly, because that's different for everyone. Like, and with a lot of people that just write like club hits, it's like, or like, you know, bangers, and like that's what they love. I don't have like a bias against that or not, but if that's what you do, then it's like signed to a label that puts out bangers, and so you'll be affiliated with people that write bangers. But like if you have this like brand and shit, and you have like this your own unique thing, then it's like, you, from my experience, you have to just like do every little thing you can to. I look at it this way, man. Like when I was younger, I used to look at fan bases and like being successful as like 0 to a million. I was like, one day I'm gonna have a hit, and then I'm gonna get like a million fans, right? Like I was just like, it's gonna be like boom, and then I'm famous. And what I realized as I get older is it's almost like one singular fan is like equally as valuable as like an infinite number of fans. Like when it comes to the actions, it's like something I found is that, and maybe that's not so true in a literal sense, but like something I've found is that like if you can literally shoot the shit with someone on the internet, and you're like, hey, yeah, like I also like this stuff, like I don't know if you saw my stuff, or like you show them your stuff, or your stuff comes up, or anything like that, and then you like make a good impression on them, like that fan that you just made, that like if they're like, yes, I do like your material, yes, you are a nice guy, yes, I did talk to you, that one fan is worth so much, dude. Like over 10 years, that shit accumulates and accumulates, and then it's like next thing you know, you have like a movement. I don't know if I'm there yet, but like I've noticed that shit is so invaluable. And
I can see that with myself. Like going back to Lauren, sorry, those. She's like, fucking Lauren again.
Yeah.
Same thing. I came across his music festival. I messaged him on Facebook. I didn't know if he was famous or not. I just found his music, found his artist page, and I immediately had some production questions because I was like, how are you getting some of these sounds that I'm hearing? And he chatted with me for a while and just talked about, this is what I'm doing. And then I became a super fan. And now I talk, this is probably like the 5th episode of the podcast. I talk about him all the time. So like, I mean, that's a really good point. You know, how many, even if I talk about it all the time, I might convert another 5 people. And if they become as devoted as me, then that just slowly builds and builds and builds.
That's the thing, man. Like I have like cliques of people that are fans of my music, you know, like that's the coolest thing in the world. Like that was the reason I got booked in Rochester. It's because like this one dude was like a fan of my music, and then like put all his friends on, and then all his friends started a production company, and they're like, dude, we're booking LEViT TE. Like it's like, that's the coolest shit ever. You know what I mean? I think it's like, there's like a gazillion little bits of advice about like marketing and that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, you know, make a fully branded package that's all cohesive and a good logo and all that. So you can go on forever about the industry stuff, but like you can learn all that shit from the internet. You can learn all that shit from seeing other brands. That's not hard to find out. What's hard to find out is that like it pays not to be a dick. Like that's the thing, man. Like it pays to take these humans seriously because they're your fucking livelihood and they're good ass people, you know. And also, it pays to pay attention to what kind of fan base you have. That's like such a huge thing. Oh my god.
What are your thoughts of like, obviously, if it continues to build and you get to a point where you don't have the bandwidth to interact with your fans at the same granular level you did on the come up, and inevitably I see that happens when I. Like producing, doing music and touring, like you run into guys like, oh, I knew this producer before he was big, and like the same common theme comes up. Well, now he's too good, or he's an asshole now that he's like, I would hear that all the time, and I'm like, is that really, or is it just sort of like your life split apart, and he got big and you didn't, and he's not really an asshole, he's just busy. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on the cusp of that. Like I miss people's messages all the time, and I feel hella bad about it. And I'm not even big, man, but I see how it happens, and I've seen it happen. The thing is like Snoop Dogg has this quote. It's like great. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it's essentially saying if they can't keep up, then you got to like leave them behind, kind of shit. But like I'm not like that cutthroat about it. Like I'm not really like, I don't know. My life isn't dramatic like that, but like when it comes to that, and it comes to when shit gets too fast paced to keep up, I just be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck. Like I look at it this way. You have like X amount of chances in your day. Like even if the chances get slimmer and slimmer, you have X amount of chances in your day to make interactions with people. As long as every single one, you're a sweetheart. That's all you can really do. You know what I mean? Like for instance, if I'm in a meeting, or if I yeah, if I'm like in a meeting with someone new that I'm working with, or like if I have to be at this set or something like that at X amount of time, like I'm gonna have to turn down the phone call with my childhood friend because it's like, dude, I have things that like I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? But so there's a lot of times where that compromise, even now, but I'm sure it'll be way crazier in the future. There's a lot of times when that compromise just can't be made. But I think for me, at least, I've tried to make a point, and I will continue to try to make a point to when I can make those compromises, or not even compromises. When I do get those interactions, I'm gonna damn sure make sure that I'm as sweet as I possibly can be. Like I do really like to give people like the time of day, especially if they're like day ones, or especially if they're supporters. Like you got to.
So your philosophy in a nutshell is like you're gonna miss who you miss because you're human, but as long as everyone you do interact with, you like it goes well. That's I think that's a good way because there are people who are obviously extremely famous, but their fan base doesn't consider them to be assholes, right? Everybody loves them, and so I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it can be done.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it totally can be done. Lauren, for instance, like Bass Nectar, is such a fucking sweetheart. The guy's so awesome. Like,
And he has some of the most. I would actually say, other than Tool fans, there's no one that can compete as far as it's like how religious they get how enthusiastic they get as a fan.
Yeah.
It almost could be a curse in a way.
yeah, they're awesome, but yeah, they're a lot. They're a lot. Like I don't know, man. I got like some divisive shit when we put out Level Up. There was like the first song I did with him was Chasing Heaven, which is like a really positive big song, and then we did Level Up, which is like trap, like it's like EDM trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like real down to the core EDM trap. And these people were like like, dude, one of my favorites was like some shit like he was saying that like Level Up was the shit they play at Guantanamo Bay to prisoners, something like that. Like these people were like like hating, dude. But I'm like, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Like you guys, they love him so much and they love what he does so much that if he strays from that at all, they get heated.
Yeah, yeah. But did you get majority, obviously positive exposure because of that? You just had some haters. That seems to be the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. Chasing Heaven though was like the long game song. Like Level Up that year was like booming because it was played a lot at festivals, and like we got the X Games spot and stuff like that. But what's been consistent is Chasing Heaven. People still listen to that song, like like as just as a song.
Damn. So it sounds like you're doing the visuals and the music full time, and you're just supporting yourself from artistic efforts. You hit that threshold that a lot of it's really hard to hit, and that's like it's almost like a. I mean, I've been homies with X and G for a long time, and I remember when things really started rolling for them, and that's like a magic time because then you can really sit and focus and expand. And I would say 90, in my experience, most people don't even get to that point, let alone to someone we'd recognize.
Yeah, it depends on what your intention is. I talk with my roommate about this a lot. But I just didn't really have like I didn't really have much of a choice. Like I did, but I didn't. Like the social pressure was there. Like it was kind of like, I mean, I moved out when I was like, I don't know, like 16, 17, but I moved back in with my mom when I was 20 to do the music stuff. But the thing was, she's like, dude, like you weren't living with me before. Like you cannot live with you know what I mean? Like I wasn't still at home. She's like, you have the ability to not live at home. So I was like, since I'm back here, this is why I'm back here. How the fuck do I pay my rent with music? Like I need that ASAP. You know what I mean?
What'd you do? So, what was your first plan of action?
So sell beats. That's like everyone always goes to that. They're like, I'm gonna sell rap beats, which I did some of those, but that wasn't my main thing. So it was like I was DJing for hip hop groups a bunch, and then but around that time, like I was still like living at home, but I was starting to make money from DJing for hip hop groups. Like I was a turntablist for a long time. And then mixing and mastering, tracking. Like I had rappers come through, record vocals, like that kind of stuff. And I would do more of that. And then I got like this I started working with like a licensing company maybe around like late 2016. And then also that was like 2014 is when we did Chasing Heaven. And that's when I would start getting like 2 royalty checks a year. That it'd be like a couple grand around that time. But for me, that was a huge deal.
There's a big deal. Yeah.
So when that started happening, it was like, okay, it's looking like I can make some money. But what really came through is in like 1 month, I got a royalty check, and then I got like 3 shows booked because I just dropped my album. Like I dropped this album Mecca in like 2016. I just dropped my album, and I got this big royalty check in like the same month. And then we booked like 3 shows off that album. And I'm like extremely optimistic, like almost to a fault. So I was like, I have 3 shows booked and I have this royalty check. I'm going to move right now. I was like, dude, I'm sure I can keep this going.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm laughing at that now, but like,
you jumped into the deep water. Sounds like.
Yeah, I sent it. I moved into an apartment with like $1,000 rent, like a studio apartment. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And I did that and then played the shows, and that lasted for like 3 months or something like that. And then like it ran out, and I saw it coming because I was like, maybe I got booked like 1 more show or something like that. But yeah, it was like 3 or 4 months until it ran out. And I was like, shit, I'm going to be out of money. And so I started teaching lessons. I started teaching Ableton lessons. I started doing way more engineering. But this is the thing. This is the difference between like me and a handful of people that are really set on music is I've been working with visual stuff for a long time. And so I started selling logos and cover arts. And that was a huge thing. Like it was logos, cover arts, Ableton lessons, and like random royalty checks from like this and that. There were a few things that were paying me. And I had like a monetized SoundCloud too. I'd get monthly statements from Repost Network for like $100, which that's like, it's to me like 25. I'm like, why did I even think anything of that? But like at the time, I remember that being like a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yes, like this $120 is like, that's my food for the month. Like that's so sick, but yeah, so that's how that ended up working out. But admittedly, there was only 1 month. There was only 1 month after that where I had to have my mom come through and really save my ass. Yeah. Like outside of like $100 here or there, like 1 month I was like, I just don't have it, and she paid my rent. But which was like a super mom moment. It was fucking awesome. But since then, man, that's never happened. I just been chilling. It's royalty checks and shows now and that kind of stuff.
So you're not doing beats or logos anymore. There's no way you have time. You're putting out way too much shit.
Yeah, there's a few random little things. Like it really comes down to like if the client has the budget, Like I did like earlier this year in like February, I like produced an EP for someone. And like they're like mostly rap beats and stuff like that, but it's because that client had the budget for it. And like I did like I think I've done like 2 real visual projects this year, but they're just it's like commercial stuff. Like I just did like the branded video for that Nightfall festival that I'm about to go play. I just did that. Yeah.
So you're still doing some visuals. You're still making some money outside of LEViT. Like.
It was like, it was in March though when I just hard stopped taking on clients. The only exception has been the Nightfall Festival.
Okay.
Cause it's like you're saying, like the time just doesn't add up. Like it won't happen.
Well, that's one of the first things I wanted to ask you. It's like, how is he already good at Cinema 4D? Like I swear I just saw this guy in Salt Lake, and now he's what and how. And I feel like I'm a pretty hard worker, and I'm like, this guy's, I knew as soon as I saw you doing it, like when I first saw you putting out the first images, I'm like, I already know. Like that's why I asked you about the timeline earlier. I know what it takes to learn something new. Like he's obviously been hermiting up and grinding this new thing, and now it's just I respect it. I was like, damn. I think I messaged you sometime around, probably from another account. I was like, man, I can't believe it's cool to see you doing both the music and the visuals, because not really anyone else is. I mean, there are other people. It's becoming more common, like the Decay from Salt Lake City I was just talking about. He just did his own, like a show just recently where it was all his own visuals.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like to see, I'm not competitive like that. I like to see more of that because I think the bar should be raised constantly.
That's how, I mean, go back to snowboarding. That's how it always is. Every generation, that bar just gets, until it's like, it just gets to a point where like, how does it get higher? But somehow it always does. Yeah. Someone finds a way.
The kind of like explanation for what you were talking about a second ago, though, is the math comes down to a consistent 12 hours a day.
Can you really sit in front of the computer and focus for 12 hours a day?
Focus is subjective.
Because I can't. Like, I did this. I had a similar thing where I did the music and the label thing really hard with Omar. And then when it was like, I have a kid, I got to make, I was like, same thing. Like, I got to make money, and I don't know how to do it with music enough. I was making some, mainly Bandcamp. Bandcamp donations was like my biggest source of income for a long time.
Bandcamp's awesome.
Bandcamp is awesome for that. So I just started doing marketing, but I worked at like a agency for about a year. Same thing. I quit my day job. I got to a point where I'm like, I could do this on my own. I had like $600 in my account, 2 kids, a mortgage, and it's like, fuck it. I can always get another day job. That's really not that much of a risk because look, I have the skills, I have the resume. So if it doesn't work out, I can go back to a day job. But the reason why I asked is like that's like 4 or 5 years ago. I definitely cannot focus for 12 hours. It's like I'd like to say I could, but I can't.
Yeah, I also have a really low overhead in my life, man. It's just me. That's the thing. Like I live in the middle of the city. Like I like the Space Needle in Seattle. That's like 2 blocks from my place. So like I don't need a car, and it's just like, it's literally like my subscriptions on the internet, my phone bill, and my rent and food is like my life,
But so even that, like you can be creative for close to 12 hours a day, like not get burned out.
Yeah, man. It's a tolerance thing. Like I couldn't in 2014, like when I was working on my first album, I thought I was like hustling, dude. I thought I was grinding in 2014, but like looking back, I was like, dog, you're working like 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like that's like a part-time job, or like a little bit more than that.
You've built your focus up to this point.
Yeah. Like, and it's like 6 days a week, maybe like 5 or 6 days a week. It's about 12 hours a day. But I also juggle a lot. Like, here's the thing is, like, think about gamers, like gamers will game for like 8 hours and then go get lunch, and then they'll check their email after, and then they'll like watch a YouTube video after. But the thing is like I have like 5 versions of that, and they all just happen to be productive, so it'll be like, I'm gonna write a song or work on the song for like 4 hours. Then I'll work on like a visual for like 4 hours. Then I'll check emails and do business stuff for like 4 hours, and like interchange that maybe with like some lunch and bullshitting with my roommates in between. But that's about the hustle. That makes sense. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I think that's why I do like so much of this shit. You know what I mean? Like why I'm like people call it versatile or whatever. It's like, dude, I just have a ton of free time.
You got to. It's a lot healthier mindset than just, I don't know, watching TV and drinking beer and doing nothing with your time.
Yeah, I get anxious when it's also like it's like a pseudo like mental health issue.
Yes,
because I get like anxious when I'm like I've been seeing this girl like on and off for like 3 years, and we'll go do things like hiking and snowboarding and stuff like that. And then if we do it for like too long in a day, or we do it like 2 days in a row, I'll like start like getting super jittery and like anxious. Like I'll get super high strung. So it's like I need to like I'll start bugging out if I like don't work in like a really weird, I don't know.
I don't think that's weird at all. I mean, it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Like, I'm obsessed with. I talk about video games 98% more than I actually play them.
Yeah,
I don't actually get to play them. There's like one or two a year that will catch me. But I do all my day job marketing stuff. I do the podcast. I still make music. I still play drums. I do a lot of training. I'm into grappling, which is like 5 nights a week. It's like I'm the same thing. I'm obsessed. Like it's hard I can do one day where like I can just chill, hang with my family. But if I'm not working towards like a skill or getting better at something, it's a mental coping thing. Otherwise I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
There's no other I don't have the option to not do it. My wife has since figured it out and is luckily like, okay, I understand how you work. It'll work. But that's makes me feel better about myself.
That's really cool that you like held down a marriage with that, and also they have a physical outlet. That's the one thing that I get kind of caught up on. Like, I really want to, at a point in my life, move back to a mountain town so I can do this and then go snowboarding.
Yes.
Yeah, because like right in the city, like, dude, I used to go to the gym and stuff, but like when I was a kid, dude, I was like fucking throwing myself off 60-foot jumps. Like, that's not going to the gym is not.
It's not
that,
the same thing. Yeah.
No, yeah, like it's cool, I guess, to get exerted, but that's not the same. So I think at a point in time, I'll probably get back into snowboarding. But I'm old now. It'll be like old guy snowboarding. It'll be like that one like burnt out dude in the park where you're like, yeah, you used to do some shit.
Yeah, you know that guy, like, he's a solid rider.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna.
Exactly.
He's not gonna really. He can't afford to really try to hook something off that table.
Dog, that was the thing, man. Last time I went snowboarding, like, no, not the last time. The last time I like was really doing tricks snowboarding, I think it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that. And I sent like a back 5 off this jump, and my fucking knees buckled when I landed. Like, my legs didn't have it in it.
Did you hit your head on your knees?
No, I didn't. Oh man, I've
buckled that hard.
Yeah, but I didn't at that time. It was like more like my legs gave out, and then like I slipped out onto my ass. And
okay.
But my immediate thought was like, dude, that was like really scary, like, because it's been so long. I was like, that was really scary, and I was like, dude, if I get hurt, I can't go to work. And
yes,
if I can't go to work, I'm gonna be broke, and so I can't do that shit. Like, it was like, oh fuck, that's like really a big risk now, you know.
That's why I've kind of got into the grappling. It's fighting without the punches and the kicks. So it's like, I'm not going to get head damage. I'm not going to work, but I can. It's competitive. I needed something that was competitive. I needed something that gave me like a. I feel really. I don't know if you feel this. I feel super isolated because I just work in my basement on my marketing, on whatever shit, and then I talk to my wife and like a couple homies, but that's it. Everything else is online. And so I needed, like, I had an urge, and I need some sort of, like, I need homies outside of this digital world. Because all I have are people, they're good friends, like really good friends that I'll message. Some of them I've never even met in real life, and they're some of my best friends. But it's just not the same. And the jiu-jitsu community is really tight-knit that way. And then the mental health, just getting, maybe it goes to the dark music. I also love pain.
Yeah.
So like
I get it.
Yeah, getting beat up and smashed and exhausted and just like coming out the other end, I'm still alive, really quiets the mind.
I definitely get that. I mean, that's like a big thing. I don't get tattoos as often as I used to, but like that was like a big thing with tattoos.
The pain.
Yeah, it's not even that like I'm like fond of. I was talking with my roommate about this shit. It's kind of like a funny thing. I have this thing with tattoos where I actually like I hate pain. Like I'm not into it like that. But the thing is when you like hit a point of just like primal like shit, like when you get like primal like extremeness, like real life extremeness shit, you know, where you're like, oh wow, that really hurt. That didn't like fake hurt. Like I'm not imagining that hurt. That hurt for an hour straight. I was just getting like a little burn for like an hour straight, something like that. That'll kind of like that'll level you. I think that's why I really like tattoos, because you get leveled as fuck. You're like, oh, this is like real life and shit. Like you can really get tired. You can really get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
total sense because tattoos is sort of, it's like this long, drawn out, never ending pain, and you starts taking you to the darkness because you're having to deal with this. Like, it's unrelenting. It's sort of, yeah, jiu-jitsu is similar where someone will, we say level you, like life is real. When someone gets a hold of you, which especially when you start out as everyone but you, that knows what they're doing, and you realize, like, my second day in jiu-jitsu, I rolled with a girl who was 140 pounds, this Mexican girl. Her name's Vanya. She's a badass. She's actually competing this weekend in Salt Lake. And I wrestled a little bit in high school. I had at least like 60 pounds on her, and she just fucked me up for like 5 rounds straight. I did nothing. Like, I was just this child baby in her cradle as she just choked me, arm bar, leg lock, calf slicer, bicep slicer, rear naked. Like, I couldn't control her. And it was like, she's a girl. She's like 130 pounds.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
This is real life. You were a bitch. And I kind of, I needed it.
Yeah,
I needed it. Yeah.
Totally. I feel like even working out, that's like the issue with working out. Working out is just a discipline, but you're always on the like upper hand. Like, you don't have to forfeit anything when you're working out. Like, if you're like a real gym rat and you're like, you like, I don't know. I used to walk like up like 30 flights of stairs as like my warm up, and then I would go like do like X amount of sets of shit. Like, I would do that 6 days a week, right? I think it was like 30 or 40 flights. It's just like a basic warm up, and then you do X amount of sets until you're exerted, and then you go home. That right there, you're like always on the upper hand. That's always in your comfort zone. You're like, I'm going to work out until I've worked out that muscle group, and then I'm going home. There's no point in that where you're like, I am fucking out of control right now. You know what I mean? With tattoos, with like, say, like jiu-jitsu, with snowboarding, with like anything that's like real life like that, like skating too, dude, you'll get scared. Like, you're not 100% in control.
Skating terrifies the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I don't know how kids, I don't know how they do that. Like, snow, I mean, obviously tables and ice, it's hard, but it's not the same as concrete. It's not the same. Or asphalt. It's just not.
Yeah, that's why I suck at skating.
Skating's so hard.
Gnarly. Yeah. When I was a kid, I like skated a lot, but I was just so bad at it because I was just so scared of getting broke off, you know? And then when I was also like super clumsy on my feet, which is funny because you think like snowboarding, like, nah.
No.
But snowboarding is way more like
it's so different. Yeah. I had the same problem. I snowboarded first. I want to get into skating. I had already started playing drums and kind of getting into music. And I had a little bit of a natural knack for drums. And skateboarding was I practiced every day for like 3 or 4 months, and I could barely ollie. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm clearly much better at drumming than I am at skating. So, fuck skating. Yeah. See you later.
It's hard, man. I could do some stuff, but I was never good. Like, even close to good at skating. And also, like, fuck, man, you get hurt a lot. It's just, but yo, dude, skateboarders are so tough for that reason. Like, I have, like, on a fundamental level, I have way more respect for skateboarders than like 90% of just like society. Because I'm like, dude, y'all like throw yourselves down stair sets as like a game.
As a hobby.
You know what I mean?
And 99% of you don't make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
probably more than that. You know what I mean? Like,
probably more. Yeah. Did you ever get into since you listened to hip hop, East Coast hip hop? Did you ever get into breakdancing? Did you ever try that?
When I was a kid, like young, like to 11, maybe something like that. I could do like, I think the best I got is I could do some like windmills, like do,
that's
like,
pretty
that
good.
Power.
Those are hard.
Yeah, but like, I didn't like have like style, you know. But I always thought it was so cool. That's some funny shit, man. Like, Gen Zs, like, they don't even know, man. They do not get that experience of like growing up with like you got served. And I know like people in the 80s will like have their like, what's that, like break-in and like their dance movies, but like, dude, for millennials, dude, you got served was like game changer.
Yeah, that's a big movie for you guys. Yeah, I was a little bit older, but I watched it. I've definitely seen it multiple times, and I'm not afraid to. Like, it's entertaining. I love cheesy movies.
So cheesy. It's so cheesy, bro. Yeah, it's like so cheesy. But I think I was like I think I was like 7th grade when that came out or something like. No,
perfect time.
probably maybe.
Perfect time for that movie.
6th grade, maybe. Yeah, and yeah, dude, like that was like the coolest thing in the world. Like I wanted nothing more than to just be a breakdancer. I also don't understand, like, I think it's because I'm old, but like I do not understand the phenomenon with dancing now, where like they aren't doing power moves. Like there's like no dancing now that's popular, but that people are really doing gnarly shit. Like it's not cool to do like a fucking backflip. You know what I mean? Like do a backflip, kids. Like learn some crazy shit. Like
I haven't been following dancing the close. I mean, I watch sometimes the clips of the Red Bull. They have like the best production value for breakdance competitions, but I haven't seen one recently. And that's a good point. I didn't know that. I have to go look some breakdancing videos and see how breakdancing is different.
Breakdancing, yeah, you'll still get power moves with breakdancing, but like I just see all these videos on Facebook of hip hop dancing, like just constantly like X Factor stuff, and I'm like, yo, like do a trick though. Like I get that, like you're not like breaking on cardboard boxes and shit, but like I don't know, do some flips, dude.
Who right now, artist wise, are you digging the most? Who's heavy on your plate rotation?
A lot of metal, dude.
Yes. Tell me.
A ton of metal. Varials just dropped an album. That's awesome. Varials is great. I don't want to sound cliche because I know like they're popping super hard right now. But Knocked Loose, that album, A Different Shade of Blue, is so sick. When I say metal, I need to preface that. I mean like metalcore and hardcore and stuff. I'm not so into like Amon Amarth and like death metal and shit.
Hey, but they have a song, "Cry the Blackbirds." I like a lot.
Nice, hell yeah.
I like more metalcore, and when metalcore and prog start to play together, that's the sweet spot for me.
Nice. Are you into like Whitechapel?
Nope, never heard of them. I'm writing everything you've said down because metal's kind of.
It's such a wide.
I get a little picky when it comes to metal and prog, so I'm always trying to find new stuff.
Oh, you probably won't like anything that I say then.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe I don't know. I think End is cool too. End is Varial's no. What is it? He's the lead singer of Counterparts. His side project End is awesome, and like huge fan. They didn't drop like new stuff recently, but like August Burns Red is on rotation for me.
I do know them. Yes, that's one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, they're like I feel like they're the biggest in that like metalcore stuff, but I think for a good reason, man. I have yet to hear tunes from them that I think are poorly made, are like cringy, there's a ton of Knocked Loose lately. Even their last EP, Laugh Tracks, was so cool. I like Amir too, but they're a little bit like, that dude is like a little bit on that cusp of straight up new metal. Like it's really on that cusp.
Who is it? Amir? What?
Yeah, Emure. So Emmure.
Emmure. Oh, okay. Sweet. Found him.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Chelsea Grin. Chelsea Grin is so sick. They're so awesome.
Chelsea Grin? Okay, found
Yeah.
Nice.
Super sick.
Their cover picture looks like something I'd like. It kind of reminds me of a band in Australia called Polaris. Just aesthetically, they look similar.
I'm gonna write that down. Wait, I do know. No, I know Polaris.
I like them a lot. They're one of my. They're more metalcore, new metal, but then just.
I think that's like why I know.
They have one popular song called "Regress." I think it's "Regress" or "The Remedy." They have one kind of hit song called "The Remedy." It has like a poppy chorus. And everything else is metalcore, and you've probably heard them. From my understanding, they're pretty popular.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of them. That rings a tough bell.
Chelsea, they're actually under related artists. Spotify checking them out. So,
What was that? There was one more that I was just thinking of, but Code Orange. Code Orange is so sick.
Code
dude.
Orange. Let me write this down.
Yeah, they're so rad. That's mainly who I've been listening to with metal. Counterparts is really cool too, but that's like my roommate is way into Counterparts, and I find him to be a bit I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a different vibe with them. It's kind of like a more upbeat take on like metalcore, as opposed to just like pure gnarly shit. They're kind of like, I don't know, yeah, it's like kind of uplifting.
I'm alright with that. I'm actually pretty. I shouldn't say I'm not picky in the sense of like, what's the word? Fundamentalist. Like usually when I talk to metalheads and I'm like, these are all kind of the bands that I like that are metal-ish. They're like, you're not a real metalhead. You're a poser. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, look, I don't listen to Slayer. Like I know they're like legendary, but it's before my time and it's not my thing.
Yeah, that's my like I throw that word around way too much, the metal word, because I don't know what like palette, what people have as a spectrum. But like if I were to go to like a metal show, like speaking transparently, I want to just be like, hey guys, I'm into metal too. Like because like nah, like you're saying, like they'd be like talking about Slayer and shit. Like I don't really know too much like Slayer or any like Cannibal Corpse cuts. I don't know too much Cannibal Corpse, you know. But I like metalcore. I like a lot of metalcore and hardcore. Just straight up hardcore is great, you know, like the right kind of it. You know where that kind of shit really loses me is like straight up like post hardcore stuff is not like what's that band? What's that? Fuck, man. What's that like super famous band that was like Under Oath? Like Under Oath, not a big fan, honestly.
I like two of their songs come to mind.
Really?
There's two that stand out to me. One called In Regards to Myself, mainly because the opening guitar riff, that's all I remember. The opening riff is heavy, and then they have one, Some Will Seek Forgiveness. It's like you know how like the post-hardcore metalcore, they would always have like the electronic kind of chill interlude songs. They have one interlude song that I really like, but I agree. I've seen him live one time. I like that the drummer is the singer and that he can sing and play drums. That's pretty cool. Badass. But not a huge. That's probably like one of the most famous. They're huge.
Yeah. I think Asking Alexandria does it kind of cool, but still, like, really, my thing is like, or like old Asking Alexandria. But my thing mainly is like, it's just that singing, that inflection that they have when they do like ballads singing.
Yeah, it's kind of whiny.
Yeah, that's just my like. I know a lot of people really love it. It just like never really like hit me right. Like I never really got into that. And so when it's like artists like that, I fall off really quick once I hear like a solid like, you know, soprano nasally singing. I'm like, oof, can't. I don't know. I don't like it.
Have you heard of Persephone?
Yeah. Where did I hear that? Dude, I think that's another one my roommate was bringing up. But I need to. Should I check him out?
Yeah, I feel 80% confident you'll like at least some of their stuff. It's spelled weird. Persefone. Persephone. Persefone.
Got you. Okay.
And my favorite track is Living Waves or Prison Skin. It's on their popular list on Spotify.
I feel like some of these bands, like deep in my Spotify liked songs, I have like a song by.
Yeah, that's the problem with Spotify is you don't really learn bands or song names. Because I just have like playlists based on kind of what I'm feeling. If I'm feeling metal or heavy, I got a playlist. If I'm feeling down tempo chill, I got a playlist. And over time, I add stuff. Then Spotify will recommend things, and I like it. And I'll just that song sounds cool. I'll add it. And sorry to that, Spotify's kind of fucking some artists over. You may recommend it to me. I put them on my playlist. I will never remember that artist's name. I won't know the song name. It's just gone.
I kind of like it though, man. I like it because, like, yes, it's bad for like brands, but for me personally, like the difference between SoundCloud and Spotify is SoundCloud, even like in its in its peak, like in golden era SoundCloud
Yeah.
days, it's like all a burst. Like it's 1 week and you're firing. 1 week
Yes.
you got all the likes and you get like in its peak, like golden age SoundCloud, you could get like 80,000 plays on a song in a week, and then the following week it would taper out to like 100K on like a good ass song. But with Spotify, for instance, and with SoundCloud now it's just like dead. You get like 1,000 plays in a week, and like that's like solid.
Yeah.
but with Spotify, you can get even bigger numbers because people do exactly what you're talking about, where they'll like that song and then they'll listen to it every day for like a year.
Yeah,
and that's like
it'll be their song.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have songs that when they came out looked like they were going to be dead, and then after like a year and a half it was like, holy shit, this is like one of the biggest songs I've ever written. You know what I mean? Just because over time it just accumulates.
That makes sense. So, but you I guess you get paid out a little bit from Spotify.
Yeah, I make a solid amount of money off Spotify. Not like salary money, but I make a good amount. Yeah,
it's like worth your time. Like, okay, this is a good revenue stream. I'm happy if people are throwing me into playlists.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you, as far as just digital music distribution, whether it's Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, what do you think, for you personally, pays the best? Or is the most fair?
That's like hard to say. I have to say Spotify because I think it just does work out that way because most people are using it. But I have to look at the actual numbers with Bandcamp because Bandcamp is surprisingly close. You know, like if I really make a point to push the fact that there's a normal download of a song on Bandcamp, like I'll get some bread, man. Like I'll actually it's convenient. You know, it's never like I'm never getting like. Here's the thing, I'm never getting like insano checks off of music. Maybe like if I drop like an EP, you know, I'll get like a grown up check off of music.
Yeah.
But I'm never getting like salary checks off of music or anything like that. Nothing that is like crazy, but it is a drop in the bucket. And like we were talking about earlier, like when it comes to like self-sustaining off of art, that's really the goal. Like there's no music career that's going to be like a one-stop shop. Like you're just paying your rent from this one thing unless you like have like a specific like viral hit, you know, it's really just drops in the bucket. So
yeah, dang. Well, man, I think you should keep going, and you have no choice but to keep going. I can tell. So.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked. But like man, that's it, dude. I considered on the side like maybe doing like visual work for companies, but at this point I'm too in there. I don't know. Maybe sound design for companies, but sound design is fun, but I can't see myself only doing sound design. That would be kind of.
I can see you move into like cinematic stuff, indie movie scores. Like I think you have the skills for that for sure, just based on what I've listened to.
I can't tell you the details. Like I don't really know the details on like the NDA stuff, but like I can tell you way sooner than you think you'll see me getting involved with some cinema shit.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I can kind of seems like you'd be a good fit for that already.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that because that is a lot of the thing, dude. I'm trying to work on this album right now. That's like a concept thing. Like it's gonna be like a concept album, and I wanted to do like a mini movie for it, like a 20-minute thing for it.
Is this like so each song will have like its own sort of visual that coheses together into one big. Yeah. Okay.
And unlike say like I did this like 20-minute video called V/Concept Collapse. I did that like a year or two ago, and unlike that, this will actually be a storyline. That thing was just like it was like 20 minutes of like visuals, and it was when I was super early in there, so the visuals are pretty janky. But what I'm working on now is really going to be like you can sit down and really watch this shit, and you could feel something. If I can pull it off, it'll be like an extreme amount of work. But if I can really make it the way I want to. It'll really be a fucking a thing. It'll be a solid thing.
What's your projected timeline? What are you shooting for?
I don't know, man. I kind of am buying myself some time with this other thing with the NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm buying some time with that. So I'm giving myself some time to work for real, like as opposed to like this past summer, I was just kind of cranking things out. But 6 months, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. 6 to 8 months, maybe. No, 8 months would be maybe a stretch. I want to say I want to get it done within 6 months. How realistic that is, we'll see. And like, don't let that like. I hope anyone like who hears that doesn't get fucked up by that. I'm not saying that I'm gonna fall off the face of the earth for 6 months. It's just like I have a couple singles all right and keep things going with LEViT, but the real passion project is gonna be that for like 6 months until I'm done.
So I'm excited, man. I tell this to the X and G boys all the time too when I talk to them. Like, man, you guys don't stop because they have their ups and downs. There's obviously doing really well as well. Mm-hmm. But it's like, and they're taking the long game too. And me and Omar always talk to him, like, dude, you guys are going to become like a new Radiohead, like, you know, like someone who has these really devoted fans. And I think you're along the same vein too. And I think you're obviously really aware of it. You've openly said, I'm playing the long game. You know exactly. Yeah. What you're doing, and I think that's genius, and I think that long game will also lead more into if you want to get into sound design or cinematic scoring, you become a more. It's like, what's the word? It's not bigger because you're like pure numbers wise. It's not like you're Taylor Swift, but it's more. I don't know, like or more respected,
like kind of integrated.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I can think of artists that are really involved, you know, with kind of like the bigger picture stuff, like Gustaffelstein. Think about that.
Yes, perfect example.
Yeah, that dude, like, he's writing songs for The Weeknd and Kanye West and shit, and like we know that, you know what I mean? Like his fans know that.
Yes,
and that's like it's like, dude, you're like kind of like a part of like culture because like the amount of. It's not just Gustaffelstein, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Like,
and he's another artist that's a perfect example of kind of dark. He's dark, and it's the audio and the visual. For me, the music videos, I was always excited when he came out with the new music video because it was always so mind-blowing, and it was always so good. Yeah. And like he's just like so good looking. He's always got a cig. His like white in his jacket. He's just so badass.
Yeah.
God damn.
They made that helmet of his a little bit big though, I think. I saw that Coachella live stream and I was like, man, dude, your head looks big though. Like that's he looked so sick and his stage was so sick too. It was all so cool. But I'm like, dude, you got this metal head on. It's just a little bit larger than a normal head would be.
I didn't see the live stream, but I've seen just pictures. So I know what you're talking about. I was gonna run by. We're gonna wrap up pretty soon, but I wanted to ask you. I've asked Steve Phillips, was another bass music, but he's more like traditional dubstep. Have you ever heard of Author and Punisher?
Yeah.
I think you will appreciate.
Where do I know that name? Tell me where I know. Red
Bull did a documentary, a mini doc on him that got some media coverage. He's more like he's closer to Nine Inch Nails and Trent Reznor.
Got you.
But his thing is also aesthetic. He builds like these really elaborate machined MIDI controllers that are like.
Dude, I know exactly where I know that name. My homie Austin. Okay, so I threw that Fatalism show with a homie named Austin. He's like into industrial techno, and he's into that gnarlier side of shit. I know this dude because he showed me this dude's videos, and his gear is insane.
It's insane. Yes,
crazy, dude.
So he's like, another one where I'm like, you know what? You're playing the long game. Like you're gonna be you're doing something truly different. And yeah, like he's another one I would put in that, and he's dark as well. So
man, his show is so awesome. He's got that thing where he's like punching.
He's punching, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is so awesome, man.
If you get a chance, check out the Red Bull doc on him. He has like a newer version of that punching thing where it's got like he controls his kick and his snare with the back and forth, and then he's got this grid that he can move it both X and Y, Z, like left, right, up, and down. Yeah. And there's all these different grids, and they're hi-hat patterns. So he'll slide it over, and it'll trigger like hi-hats and he can move like, okay, 16th notes is this column, 8th notes is this column, and he has different patterns. And he machines it all by hand. It's crazy. That's awesome.
I just love the fact that he built those things to look as gnarly as they do.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it's not like he like used some like microchip looking plastic things and like built his own MIDI controllers. It's like, dude, you built like a fucking like mech arm.
It looks, yeah. And it's another example when you started out talking, it's like there's a difference between like someone like Lauren, when you really get in, it's like, okay, this is a whole, like, you're not just writing a song. This is a whole experience, it's a different thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that guy's awesome, man.
Yeah, and like he's actually a good example too of I don't listen to his music very often in the car when I'm driving as like a casual listener.
Yeah.
But I will consistently, like every couple months, like I'm going to watch some Author and Punisher videos. Like I feel like, and I'll watch the same performance that I can find online multiple times because it's so badass.
And that's the thing is like with this guy, if he comes to your city, you're going to that show.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing I always pay attention to. With, like, a lot of these people on the internet, I'm not going to throw shade. This isn't, like, a backhanded thing. But I have noticed with a lot of these guys on the internet, a lot of these producers, they have these numbers. It looks insane. And they even get engagement. But when they come to your city, no one's there for the show. You know what I mean? Like, it's that references what I had mentioned super briefly earlier where I was like, and pay attention to what kind of fan base you have.
Yeah.
Because, like, if your fan base is they're there for the tweets, if they're there for the memes, like they're not paying money to see you play music. Like they got to be there. They got to be there for the music and for the show. You know what I mean? At least if you want to do it. Obviously, that's all subjective. But I've just seen the other side of that so often, and I'm like, it makes me feel better about my strategy a bit because it's like, okay, you know.
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind if you continue with the work ethic, both the visual and the audio, and your skills get better, just like you were talking about looking back at your first audiovisual things, you're like, man, I laugh at them now. In 10 years, you're going to look back, whatever this new concept album you're going to put out, it's going to be the best thing you've done up to this date. And in 20 years, the 20-year-old version later of you is going to look back at that and be like, what the fuck? That's like, up. I'm so much better than that now.
Straight up. Even like probably 5 years, honestly.
Yeah. Totally. I guess, shorter time. It gets the rate.
And like, dude,
go ahead.
Sidebar, like where you're at with the podcast right now is so sick. That IG page is so properly branded. I've noticed that you and Omar have a really consistent and amazing, like perfect vision for branding. That's fucking awesome. That's such a unique ability that I think a lot of people miss the mark, like myself included. Like my branding is not that uniform. You guys have, and if you worked on Damn Son with him, that was another thing with Damn Son, is it was just like so properly uniform. Everything was. So like I see you too, man. Like it's fucking dope. Like if you are as integrated with Omar as it seems, and like that means I've seen a ton of your work already, and it's always been fucking super uniform.
Yeah, we did Damn Son I think for 5 years. We started together 5 or 6 years, and then he did it for like 2 years after. It's kind of dead now. He's all in on K-Swiss. K-Swiss takes up all his time, so it is what it is. But I mean, that's where I met. I mean, most of the guests on the podcast so far have all come from the 5 years that I did Damn Son. We put out music, and I put out my own music. I just met a bunch of producers. And most of them are chill, and most of them play video games, and most of them are still doing music. And I just thought that was like a good way. I'm like, okay, I can start just bringing on What would I think is interesting? If someone else did this podcast and interviewed you, I'd be like, okay, I'm interested because his art has intrigued me, but no, I'll just fucking do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to him because I think
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to wait for someone else to talk to him.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the fucking move. That's awesome. That's awesome. I wish I could actually like get my human self on the internet more. I feel like there's not enough people that are connecting dots like that. That's like a huge issue in electronic music, is everyone kind of pools like in this very, I mean, I'm not demonizing them for this, but everyone kind of pools their fan base and pools their network in an almost greedy like way because that's all they can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that.
Like that's all you can do is just accumulate as much as you can. You know what I mean? And there's very few avenues that bridge those fan bases. You know what I mean? That bridge those things. Like if you look at hip hop, dude, holy shit. Like there's so many blogs, there's so many like different labels and crews and like features and collabs and that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, like electronic music artists collaborate all the time, but like that doesn't mean that there's like a personality exchange there. That doesn't mean that there's like a real in-person, like, I don't know, man, like put out a song.
That's a good question. How did your collab with Bass Nectar? How did that actually play out?
Dude, to be honest, like, dude, he was a fan. That's like what it was, which is insane to say. It's like the craziest thing for me to think about. But his manager had shown him a song of mine that got picked up by this blog, and his manager was like, yeah, he sent it to him, and his manager hit me with an email and was like, oh, dude, like, I know you don't know me, but I showed Bass Nectar your stuff, and like he loves this shit. And I was like, dude, I thought it was fake. You know what I mean?
I probably would too initially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to scam you for plays or some.
Yeah,
bullshit.
something like that. Yeah, but he was like, no, it is what it is. So yeah, just so you know. And then like pretty much like a month later, 2 months later, I saw a video of him playing the song, and then I emailed him and was like, oh my God, like you really do like my music. Like that's so crazy. And like I was bugging out, and then he wanted to use that song for something, and then I was like, yeah, you can use it for that, which didn't end up happening. This whole I don't think I can like spill the beans on that, but like it was like this. He had this idea for like a different mixtape that never happened, and then I was like, yeah, if you want to like write a song together though, you know, like on some like Hail Mary shit. I was like, yeah, if you want to write a song together, that would be really sick. And then he said, yeah, and we wrote Chasing Heaven after like 4 attempts or something like that. And then a year later it was like, yeah, let's do another one. And then but he wanted a banger like on the next one. He wanted like a bop. And that's why we did Level Up, cuz he was like, fuck yeah, like I want more of that like crazy trap shit. And I was like,
how
okay.
did when you say exchange of personalities though, was it just like you send some ideas, stem it out, he spins it back, or were you actually sharing a project file?
It was like, yeah, we were sharing project file assets. Splice wasn't a thing at the time, so we were sharing like folders with like different versions of the project in it and like little assets. For Chasing Heaven though, it was pretty like, I think it was like, man, I like sent him the project file of the song that I wrote and all the stems, and then there was only one more exchange. Like he called me up and he was like, yeah, can you like do this or tweak this and then send that over? And I was like, okay, yeah, word. And then on Level Up, we got over the phone and hashed it out. Like, yeah, like with Level Up, like we like sat down for like, I think maybe 2 sessions. And there were some things like he pretty much entirely wrote the beat in the middle with like Macintosh rapping on it. That's like, there's a few elements of mine in there, but that's really his beat. It's like more the drop that I had more influence on. But yeah, so that song was definitely like in person. I mean, with the exchange thing though, man, like going back to that subject, like when 2 artists collab in electronic dance music, they don't go out and like do a photo shoot and then they don't like holler at each other's like Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not doing IG live stuff or like getting like the fans don't really cross over. It'd be like, this artist that I'm a fan with had collabed with this guy, end of story. But they're not being like, yo, so who is this other guy? Like, we got to get to know him, that kind of stuff.
So you're saying like the bleed over, the crossover percentage is smaller in general, from your opinion, in electronic dance music versus hip hop?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Like with hip hop, it's so crazy because like I don't know if this comes from like street culture or whatever. With hip hop though, if you fuck with a rapper and they work with another rapper, you just immediately fuck with that other rapper. Like there's so many rappers. Like dude, Frito Santana, for instance. Like I was such a big fan of Chief Keef that like I didn't even know, dude. I've never heard of Frito Santana in my life, but he worked with Chief Keef, and I was like, yep. And then I listened to Frito Santana's music, and I was like, this is mixed and mastered so badly, but like I love it. You know, like it's just like so much more of like in a weird way, it's like community driven with hip hop, you know? And like I don't really think that's the case with electronic dance music because the personalities aren't really in there. But if there's more things like this, like a podcast, and there's more real like active culture shit for EDM that's not just like some dumb festival of like backstage or dumb video of some backstage at a festival, but like real culture things. I feel like that's really going to make it into I don't know. I feel like that's just better for everyone, you know?
There's some good production podcasts, but as far as like a electronic culture or something that would be equivalent, yeah, I can't think of nothing that I've been exposed to. It's interesting that you brought up there's so many rappers, right? And you once you fuck with one rapper, you fuck with the other rapper. Another common thread I've heard from different filmographers, there's actually this guy that does a bunch of stuff in the MMA world. Now he's all like, he goes behind the scenes and films famous fighters, but he got to start making rap videos. And he talks about, and then I also, do you know Seventh Wonder? He's like a tiger logo.
Yeah.
He was based out of Maine. I guess now he lives in Texas. But he was always posting, he was getting a ton of work recording rappers, producing for rappers, always working. And it kind of makes sense. Like, okay, the rap community, that's true. There's a lot of work to be, like you said, you started selling beats immediately. It seems like a lot of artists kind of get their underground start in the rap community because of exactly what you're talking about. There's work to be had there. And then they springboard into wherever they're going to go to.
It's frustrating as hell to work in that industry, though. Oh, my God.
It's just some of the producers I follow that do that and post about it. Just the little glimpse I get on Instagram, Seventh Wonder being one of them. Seems like you deal with a lot of drama.
Bro, yeah. That's like why that's why I like avoid it now. I have rappers that I really like and that I like want to work with or have worked with, that kind of thing. But I don't know, man. Like I stayed in Atlanta for like a month at like a rap recording studio, and I found it really hard to like to navigate in that because it was like, dude, like, yo, y'all are like, it's like so like, how do I put it? Clicky as fuck, super clicky. And it was like, I only had a few homies out there, and I wasn't really thirsty too. That's the other thing, is like everyone expects you, because it is so clicky in the rap community, everyone expects you to be thirsty as hell. And so like you'll meet a rapper, and like if you're not immediately like, yo, let's work, I really like your shit, I like know all of your music, I fuck with your clique, like that kind of stuff. If you're not like immediately like on that kind of like bootlicking level, like on the ass kissing level, like they'll never talk to you again. You know what I mean? And then you have to deal with like intermingling like everything, like politics and stuff. It's too dude, it's like too difficult for me being like a just mellow normal person. Like I'm not really like living and breathing just to get the hustle, you know? I mean, I am as far as my effort, but as far as my personality, I'm not really like, I'm just a normal fucking guy, I guess, in my opinion. And so for me, it's difficult to network in that realm, and not fun, just mainly not fun at all. That was like my takeaway from the rap industry. But I love that fucking music.
Who's your favorite rapper right now?
Right now? Oof, man, that's a good ass question. Oof. I like Vince Staples. Vince Staples is always a go-to. But let me like think like rap.
Or hip hop or whatever. Whoever you're,
I like.
It could be old. Whoever you're listening to consistently right now.
I like Bones a lot, but that's like in that other realm of rap. I like A$AP Rocky. Such a huge fan of him. People have their feelings on him. I don't care. His shit slaps, dude. A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg. are regulars for me. Yeah, I like Future. I like Future when he's good, though. There's like some Future that I'm not into, but I like. See, people in Atlanta don't feel the same way I do about Future, because Future writes really, really incredible bangers, like just fucking like gangster ass shit. And then he'll also write his sing songy stuff, and like if his sing songy stuff isn't on some like real like I guess like swagger shit. If he gets really really into his like codeine hole, I'm not that into it. But if he's just writing some like real like dope, I don't know. It's just hit or miss with me. Gucci Mane always a hit for me. Fucking love Gucci Mane. I got his book, man. I'm like reading his book right now. Yeah, I don't know. I like 21 Savage too. There's like a ton of old school guys though, like Nas. Oh man, Nas all day.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Young Lean. I can't go without saying Young Lean. Oof. There's a lot of Young Lean I really like.
I've seen that name, but I can't think of a song off the top of my head that I.
You gotta listen to Happy Feet. That's like new Young Lean.
Happy Feet.
Yeah. And that's like an acquired taste, like which I'm sure you're aware of. That's a definite acquired taste. I like another one that's on my Spotify playlist is A-Chow. That's more like pop R&B rap, but like whew, that guy's awesome. I don't care. That guy's so sick.
I do like pop R&B. There's a guy, I think it's called Black or Six Lack. I don't know.
Yeah. He's awesome too, man.
He's got so a song called it's really chill. Damn.
His hit was called Problems. His hit was Problems.
Yes, I've definitely heard that one. Damn it, why can't I fucking remember that song? I know you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that song. It's
he dropped that album too. That whole front to back, his last album was so sick.
Yeah, Problems. That got 247 million plays. OTW. I guess I don't know that song.
That song's cool too, man.
What is the one I'm trying to remember? Damn, I want to give up, but now I'm like, I've spent so much time trying to find it. I don't want to give up. Disconnect, Pretty Sorry, Let Her Go. I thought it was on the same album. Oh, Nonchalant. That's probably one of my favorite rap songs of all time. Like that's just that randomly that one song. I love that song. But when you said kind of more pop R&B, it's a little more in that vein.
I listen to a lot of that stuff because they're better songwriters than like anyone in the game, if you ask me. Like that whole genre, pop, R&B, hip hop, it's like the songwriting is kind of unmatched in my opinion. Like, man, you can compare it with like pop. I think they're crushing pop artists with songwriting. Just like flow, technical ability, swing, groove, lyrics, cadence, everything. And just melodies. Melody is the main thing.
Definitely melody, I would agree. 100%.
Yeah. You have these guys like Party Next Door and shit. Like, I don't even think that guy's like, but like, you have guys like that are just like, I guess, a better example, Tory Lanez. Like, you have people like Tory Lanez and shit. That's like one of like a few dozen that's in that scene. And they just shit out gold. Like, incredible melodies. Like, their freestyle game with even melodies is crazy, dude. So crazy. Jeremiah too, dude. Like, even like, oh man, like I was just talking with my roommate about this. What's his name? Ty Dolla $ign, dude. Like, I don't even like a lot of his music, but like you listen to just the melodies. Like, if you put me on those same beats and you're like, write a melody, I'm like not even 1% as dope as he is on that shit. You know what I mean? He can just sing just like the dopest, like most swagger into this shit just on the spot.
Have you ever tried singing?
I do like droney stuff on my music, but like I don't really have the I need to train, dude. I didn't do that when I was younger. I didn't train when I was younger, so I didn't grow to have the vocal folds that these people do. So it would take a lot of practice.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I don't really have a knack for it, and I know how long it would take to get really good at it. So, but it is frustrating sometimes when I'm like, I really wish I could do that. It would, yes, I really do.
I have so I've been putting vocals on a lot of my stuff, but and like my album, every single song will have vocals of me on there, but that I'm not like belting. Like you're not really gonna hear me like belt ever because I just can't do it and sound good.
It's hard. Singing's like it's just melody. Melody in and of itself. Even like I'm working on a project where I had this idea where wouldn't it be cool if there was a metal band, like a metalcore metal band, but the only real instrument was a drummer and everyone else was playing synths, like no guitars. And so I'm like, that would be cool. And I just started arranging sort of like metal post-hardcore, metalcore, prog stuff in just in MIDI. Then I sent it to my brother who has like really nice synths and he does all the sound design. Now I forgot why I was fucking saying this. What'd you say right before this? I got too high. Damn it.
I was saying I was sung a little. That's all.
Oh, the melody. Yeah, I was going to say melody. And so I'm trying to come up, even though I can't sing, my brother can sing. I'm like, that's all right. I will write you like reference melody parts to kind of like get the things going. And even that's because when you're writing it like at a grid, a MIDI grid or a keyboard, it's not a voice. So you don't, I don't know, there's a disconnect like where I can come up with catchy melodies that I think are catchy for a synth part or a piano part or an ambient part, lead part, whatever. But they don't translate very well when someone sings them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's because you have to say words.
Yes.
Like I feel like I have a good grasp on that because like you gotta, man. I feel like if you're gonna write lyrics, they have to be lyrics first and foremost. Like
before the melody, right?
Yeah. Because inevitably, unless of course they're just doing straight falsettos on everything, inevitably there's going to be lyrics in there. And so instead of like playing note after note, what you're really doing is like playing like two notes or you're like triple tapping one note because of the cadence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not just like one, unless it is a falsetto through the whole thing, unless it is just like a singing one note. If they're saying lyrics, you're really just like da 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 da. You know what I mean? As opposed to just one solid note, depending on what they're saying. So I think that's why you have to go in writing lyrics. Also, like some words, when I'm writing lyrics, so what I've noticed is some words, although the note wouldn't really be hitting, just the timbre in which you say it makes a big difference. So like out is going to sound different as like there. You know what I mean? Like if you're singing the word out, that's going to hit differently than the word if you're singing the word there. But they could be the same note, but because that inflection is different, it's going to hit you differently. But that shit's all vibe, man. I don't know. I'm really not that good as a songwriter. That's like my main thing I need to work on as a musician. But like the one thing I found is like, dude, that is totally primal fucking vibe. Like the best songwriters, I feel, don't think about it at all. It's just they just shit it out, and I think it's
like stream of consciousness, kind of. Yeah.
Exactly. My homie Macintosh is like, fuck, dude, that guy could be an R&B singer if he wanted, but he like not even that he has pipes like that, but like he has the ideas. Like I've watched him in real time, like think of a hook, and I was like, dude, that was like better than I ever could have thought of, and I wrote the fucking song. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that stream of consciousness shit where he's been working on it with lyrics for like 10, 15 years, probably longer. And it just is not even, it's just what he does. It just comes from nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a friend. Did you know Audio Treats? He's a producer out of Utah. He's kind of...
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, he was homies with Omar, did a couple releases on Damn Son. He's the same way where he comes up with some of the best melodies, but he doesn't train vocals enough to be able to like have the vocal dexterity to just like be record ready to, you know, he has great ideas, but I've been trying to bug him for like 5 years, like fucking practice singing, man. Like you have talent. Yeah. You have that thing that I don't have, that I wish I had, and you have it. Don't waste it. You know, it's like do some drills, man.
Yeah, I want Kwabi to sing more on his stuff because his melodies are always really cool. He could do like a really cool black thing, like that artist you're talking about.
Yeah,
that like Six Lack dude. He could do something like that because he can really like cook that shit up. It's really awesome.
Sweet, man. Well, to wrap this, sorry, if you're actually listening and you're a fan of the gaming podcast, we didn't talk about games, but actually, I had when I had this initial idea for the podcast, I originally was thinking about calling it Media Memories because I'm like, really, you could interview anyone. The idea was like interview creative people about the shit that sort of like kind of the primordial soup that turned them into the creative person that they are today, which is all media, right? It's music, it's movies, it's video games, etc. And so I was listening about, I'm like, it's too much. Like trying to do 3 things is too wide of a net. I'm just going to stick with gaming. I've always liked gaming. I'm a huge nerd. A lot of guys are into gaming. But
what are you playing right now?
Ooh, good question. I'm playing. I play a lot of indie 2D like pixel retro games.
That's sick, dude. Have you seen the game that Lauren's going to be a part of? It's like it's really short, but it's fucking awesome.
No, and now I feel Lauren video game.
Go on his Twitter. Go on Lauren's Twitter.
Oh, the last night.
No, not the last night. That game also
that game looks
probably
awesome.
not.
Shit too, but
it looks awesome, but I don't think it's gonna get made. I don't know. We'll see.
It got released like the release was like 3 years ago. The trailer, like the announcement trailer, I guess you could call it. Lauren out of the frame. Lauren has not tweeted. What are you talking about?
Oh, let me. Yeah.
He does that though sometimes. He did like purges shit.
I'll find it though.
Okay. He purged all. He had like some really cool production talk on Reddit, and where he was telling people like he talks. When I talked to him, we talked a lot about using real reverb and resampling through like shitty speakers and putting them in real spaces and miking it up.
That's so cool.
But
Holy shit!
He purged
so
it all.
Cool.
He deleted it all off Reddit. Like you can't find it anymore. So maybe
why?
I don't know.
I'm hurt.
Oh, I was gonna go back to what this reminds you were saying. It's nice to like show my human side. That's good, but there's also the devil's argument would be if you're really mysterious like Lauren, then that mystery can kind of make you into a larger than life. You know what I mean? Fans.
I know exactly what you're saying.
So we should delete this podcast because now I'm ruining all your mystery.
To be honest, that's not like, man, I've thought about this though, like a lot, dude. That's not really my thing. Like, honestly, I've thought about it a bit. I mean, I make a lot of stuff, like enough stuff that you could supply, I guess, not being personable at all. But that's not really me as like a guy.
Yeah,
like,
it would be manufactured if you did it. I think Lauren is just naturally not interested, and it's yeah.
I think that's genuine as hell.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't. I think he does really only want to be represented by, the content that he makes and even the content that he selects. And I think that's probably his whole like life in a sense, or as far as like, yeah. I just think that's how it is for him.
Oh, Fury?
Maybe.
Was it Fury? I bought Fury because of
No, it's not.
Lauren.
It's not Fury.
But that's an older game. That's like 3 or 4 years old.
I might have to DM it to you on Instagram because it's my roommate that really knows it. But he was talking about it on his Twitter, how it's all like, dude, it's so crazy. The game like just literally is entirely data moshed. It's 100% data moshed, and the only soundtrack is scored by Lauren. It's so crazy.
Dang, yeah, I can't find a. Yeah, just DM it to me because his Twitter looks like he's just deleted everything.
Oh, I might have. Did I find it? No, I didn't find it. Yeah, I will. I'll DM it to you.
What were we talking about? No, I can't remember.
I don't know. It's a crazy video game.
Some shit. Oh, we were talking about.
No,
I was playing 2D games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask. Wrap it up to video games. I have a way to inject some video games into the conversation at the end, so people don't riot. All 5 people. That would be. What's your if any? I know it doesn't sound like you game a lot, but best video game soundtracks.
Best video game soundtracks. Man, I really have to think about that.
Does anything stand out to you?
Well, what's so funny is like it's like funny that we came to that point, but I was gonna say The Last Night, or I would have said The Last Night if it ever got made, because I know that dude had like a really good taste going in. But man, yeah, I really have to think about that. Best video game soundtrack. That's a tough one for me, man.
It might be
Yo,
hard
dude.
because you haven't. It doesn't sound like you've played a lot of like narrative based games where you kind of
Yeah,
go through a story where there's a cinematic soundtrack that goes with it.
dude. Skate 1, EA Skate 1 had such
What's
a
on
fire
Skate
soundtrack.
One?
Dude, oh my God, what am I saying? Dude, yeah, fucking dude, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yes.
Dog.
That's
Oh,
a couple
man.
other guests have brought that up. That for me, embarrassingly enough, was how I knew who they were, but I didn't really get into Rage. But they had a Gorilla Radio was on Tony Hawk's Pro
Yeah,
Skater 2, and that was like that line, "Lights out, Gorilla Radio, turn that
dog.
shit up." I loved
Yeah,
it. Repeat all day.
fire. Fire. I do have a gem. Dude, I just thought of something. I do have a gem that like I'm not sure
Okay. Hit me.
everyone knows on the podcast. So I do have a good one. Okay, really solid video game soundtrack. I mean, probably people know this shit, but like GTA 4 features Flying Lotus and
Yes.
Tyler the Creator that only exists on GTA
On
4.
GTA. There's a Flying Lotus station, right? Like a
Yeah. And there's like it's like an album's worth of music or some shit that literally only exists on that radio station. And I thought that was incredible. I thought that was so fucking cool when I heard about that.
Yeah, they
So that probably takes the cake just because that exists. Like I'm such a big Fly Lotus fan. Yeah.
Flying Lotus, man, that's one of those artists where people get mad at me because I'm like, I like some of his songs, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it.
It's so in the hole. It's so in the hole. You got to find the right stuff. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I get it because I'll show people Lorne, and I'm like, how do you not get it? But I like someone like who is, he's obviously, I would say he's more. Flying Lotus is like way legendary at this point. I mean, he's like deity almost. And but I don't get it. It's blasphemy.
I'm not mad at you saying that. No, I understand. I didn't like Flying Lotus for a really long time. It's oh my God, I have to like pull it up on Spotify.
First time I heard a Flying Lotus song, I was like, I didn't know music could be so compressed and so hot and so fuzzy.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing, just 100% compressed.
But like he plays, there are some songs I like. What would you recommend if I was going to give him a second shot?
I like the Reset EP. That's in 2017. It's 2007. It's called the Reset EP. I like Message Situation on that project. It's really like quintessential. You can tell like because it was 2007. You can tell how many artists followed suit after that song.
Okay.
Not just that song, but just after that whole project, after that EP, because you're like, oh, like this is like kind of like 2007. That would be like almost the birth of like lo-fi electronic synthy stuff. So like, yeah, I like the Reset EP. And then everyone always says this, but like for a really good reason. Until the Quiet Comes. If you're like, that's like the equivalent to like psych rock. Like it's like deep in the rabbit hole of like zoning the fuck out, But Until the Quiet Comes is really awesome.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I do recognize some of the song titles from that one. I remember seeing visuals for You're Dead, the album after that. Seeing a couple of videos that I was really impressed with the visuals. Have you heard of a label? I know I keep saying we're going to end, but I'm having so much fun talking. Have you heard of a label? And it's more music, so if you want gaming, just turn off now because we're going to talk about music. Have you? There's a label I just recently came across called Meth Lab.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Okay, so I'm a newcomer, but they have a bunch of awesome shit. I just discovered them like a week ago, and I've been on the Meth Lab Bandcamp like a crack addict for the last week because there's just so much stuff.
Yep. Yeah, man. Meth Lab is like, that's like a built-in fixture to like my listening routine. You know what I mean? That's like Meth Lab is like one of the go-tos for me when I'm like preparing a DJ set and like just trying to hear some crazy shit. So like Audeca has a release a long time ago, on like probably a year and a half ago on Meth Lab, and I think it's called like, it might be called Direct Injection EP, but or something like Engine Block EP. That's what it's called, Engine Block EP. Man, that shit goes. That is such an incredible project. But yeah, they're
find it. What would you call it again? The EP?
Engine Block.
Engine Block.
I think that's what it's called. I think so. I know my favorite.
Okay, I'll try.
My favorite. Maybe like look up Odd Deck Direct Injection, because that's my favorite song on it.
Odd Deck Direct Injection.
Yeah, it's like AUDEKA. They're so good.
Direct Injection. Oh, okay, yeah, I spelled it wrong, but I found it. There it is.
Nice. Yeah, dude, that song is so sick. So good.
Sweet. Yeah, they're, I don't know why I brought up, something you said triggered me about Meth Lab. Oh, it was that guy I mentioned earlier, Anthony Baldino, the cinematic guy for the Blade Runner soundtrack. So basically, Triphonic said, "Hey, our buddy came out with this new modular synth album." I'm like, "Oh, modular synth? That seems interesting." And then it was released on Meth Lab. So then from there, I started checking out their other shit, and I was like, "Oh, well, holy cow! Okay, this is cool."
That's got to be where I heard of your boy, or where I heard of that guy. When you said that, and I was like, dude, I feel like I know that. I think it was, it's because of Meth Lab, dude. I like pay pretty close attention to Meth Lab. And so like, I definitely saw that pop up.
I checked it out.
Yeah, I'm probably going to front to back that tonight, because I'm getting ready for this set. And like, even if it's like ambient, like I don't care. Like,
it's more ambient. It's like down tempo ambient, so it may not be.
I'm still going to listen to it, you know. That art is badass too.
Yeah,
man.
the art for that release is amazing. Like it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of your style too.
Yeah.
When I saw that, like it's like, so those like you know how you were talking and you were whining about sci-fi and colors and cyberpunk and video games, and it's like Blade Runner is exact. Like there's color in Blade Runner. There's a lot of color, but it never loses that aesthetic, the dark aesthetic, and this release has that too.
Nice. Okay, that's what I like. There's like there's like a few things that get called cyberpunk, but like if it looks like bright neon purple, I'm not gonna be.
You're not into it. No. What about have you seen any hype about the cyberpunk video game coming out from CD Projekt Red?
Yeah, I'm like, this is controversial. I don't care. I think it looks so whack. I'm just gonna be honest.
It may. I will, because aesthetics are subjective. I will grant, and you forgave me about Flying Lotus, so I will grant. So I will grant you a pardon for the aesthetics, but gameplay wise and story wise, and branching storylines and lore and world building, I think that's going to be one of the greatest video games. There's a lot of games actually that, if the aesthetic turns me off in the beginning, chances I won't play it. But there have been games where like I hate the aesthetic or I hate the way the main character looks, but other aspects of the game are so good, I will still go through with the game.
That's the thing, man. Like, so like as far as that kind of art direction, you can kind of look at Death Stranding as the contrast to that. Yeah. Because Death Stranding looks like actually like extremely boring and tedious gameplay, but the art direction is like, for me, that's like, that's the coolest thing ever. But on the other hand, like Cyberpunk 2077, or is that what it's called? 2077?
I think, 2077.
Yeah. That game, for instance, looks like it's really fun, but that art direction is like cringy to me, you know, but it looks extremely fun. So like, I get it. Like as a gamer, that's probably like, I hate to say this because Kojima is such like a goat, but that game is probably going to be more played, like Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I mean that studio. I don't know if you've heard of a game called The Witcher. Witcher 3 is a previous game.
I think so, yeah.
They're kind of like what you were saying about the long play and know your fans. So they did this series called The Witcher 1 through 3. The first one was garbage, like really clunky. The second was better. And then the third one came out and was a huge hit. But they never did like a DRM. All their games are DRM free. They know that their fan base are generally like hardcore PC gamers. And they've always like put the fans first. And now they've become not only like a cultural underground fan favorite development house, but now they're also very commercially successful. Their games are making, and Cyberpunk is their first like mega budget. Was like the budget's like hundreds of millions of dollars that have gone into the production of this game. They're from Poland, I think. They're subsidized by the government gives them money. They have publishers. Like it's a huge game, but they have they're beloved by gamers. Like they've never put out a bad game, and they don't put out that many games. And they always just say it'll come out when it comes out. Like it'll come out when it's ready. They don't they don't shortcut, and they're like in a financial space where I don't think publishers can really force them to release games before they're ready. And I think there could be some parallels with music. I don't guess you haven't had to deal with it because you're going a different route, but I know like other friends that have been hired to do production or ghostwriting for bigger names, or even like they get put on a schedule, and there's just a lot more pressure, and it's like, well, I'm just doing this for money. And you get in this kind of weird realm where like, is this really what I want to do, or am I selling my soul? But it's also moving me forward.
I heard about.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I heard about Cyberpunk 2077. That I read that every single extra in that game has an individual life.
Yes,
and that's like the craziest thing to me.
Yes.
Because I look at that from like a straight data and like coding standpoint, and I'm like, fuck, that is how.
It's insane.
That's insane. Yeah, that's
they've
crazy.
talked a little about their crowd tech where they obviously they want to show as many characters. They want the city to feel alive. And so every NPC and every character actually has a place where it goes and lives, and they're on full day night cycles. And so, like on Monday through Friday, this guy will go to work here, and they have schedules, and they put variations in those schedules. Sometimes, depending on time of year and day, they'll like, and they've just mapped out like, it's why, and it's why would you? How much money did that one feature cost? Right?
Man,
who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, dude, that's like the equivalent to like when GTA dropped the fact that like their map is scale to LA. You know what I mean?
Close to one.
You're like, how?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. How is that even possible? You know? But it was. It's fucking insane. But that's like another level. That's a 2019 version of that. Like, we have 1 million people that all do their own life thing. Like, what?
What's I also want to run by some of your favorite sci-fi films or films you can recommend, because good sci-fi is also something that's hard to come by.
Yeah, totally. Man, I wish I was like more knowledgeable with this, but like I have to say, like the Alien and then Prometheus series, fucking awesome. But that's like all like, oh man, that's so much. You know what I mean? That's like if you're really trying to watch some gnarly shit.
I just kind of assumed that maybe because you're pulling inspiration from films, that maybe you had like a backlog of sci-fi, or you actually also mentioned earlier you listen to like, you mean you watch some crazy shit. Are you into like art house stuff?
Yeah. Well, I like, so a ton of inspiration actually has always come from like really deep internet videos. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Please expound.
Not from the deep web, but I mean just like gems, right? So like when I was younger, I had this little app called Stumble Upon, and Stumble Upon, when you clicked it would bring it'd bring you to like a cool spot in the internet. And a lot of that though was just like art videos for me, you know? So there's like these artists like, Coco Freak Bean on the internet is like incredible, right?
Coco
so he put me onto like data mosh art, you know? Like that was a really big thing for me. It doesn't seem like it's aesthetically aligns, but it like does in a weird way. You spell it like Koko.
Okay, I found one.
Yeah.
Morning Wormhole. Let's check this out. Oh, this is what you mean by data mosh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with
Holy
this guy.
shit.
Holy shit is the right word.
It's a little like hypnotic, even though it's so
Yeah.
chaotic. It's damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk if I'm watching this, so I gotta turn that off.
Yeah, like you have to so much. It's like so like visually stimulating, you know. But that's why I love that dude's shit, because it's like, fuck, man, like it's everything in the world. It's like you're the only person that makes shit like that I've ever seen. But yeah, like a lot of that stuff. I don't know. I also really like a lot of 3D artists. There's a lot of really incredible people out there. That's like, for instance, like this dude. I'm gonna put you onto like my favorite Instagram 3D artist right now.
Yeah, I follow quite a bit already, so I spend way more time than I like to admit on ArtStation, just like browsing.
ArtStation is yeah.
Cool art.
Yeah, ArtStation is really cool. Hold on, my internet is running. I just need to like get the right spelling of his name, but it's like Nicholas W something. Like it's a super long name. But this guy, like, man, I have never seen a fucking, man, my Instagram is being slow as death right now, but I've never seen someone that is so, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is going to take a second. Nicholas, like Nicholas.
Yeah.
And then one word, Matthew Wellstron. So it's Matthew, and then Elstran.
Nicholas Malstrain. All right, I found him. It looks like he's got a video called "Chain in the Night."
Oh, I don't know if he's on YouTube. I have no idea. I've only seen him on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. Oh, I guess he does have a link in bio for his YouTube.
Okay, I found his Insta. Oh, okay. So I do follow a lot of like 3D dudes on Instagram, but what I noticed immediately was, man, this. So I probably okay for those listening. I have no way to explain to how to.
He'll catch you. He'll catch you off guard. Like,
yeah,
this shit is crazy.
Okay, so some of it reminds me of like acid trips I've had, but there's like some glitch element. It's like organic. Man, that's really hard to explain.
It's insane.
I can see why you like him. Yeah,
he's so good. Jesse Kanda is another artist that I really like, but Jesse Kanda's fame comes from early art. Well, I don't know, that marginalizes his shit, but like he first popped off because of early work with like this dude Arca, who's like I can't say dude. So Arca is identifies as a female now, so, or as a woman now. So so Jesse Kanda's early work with Arca was what put them on the map, and then Jesse Kanda's work kind of introduced me to like the edgier side of, I guess, more like creative side of 3D stuff. Jesse Kanda has worked with FKA Twigs on her first album. They did all the 3D work for that. Jesse Kanda also did a bunch of work with Bjork, but Jesse Kanda's Instagram is super weird, as Jesse Kanda is. And it's true.
How do you spell it? Because I'm not finding it.
Kanda, but True Kanda is the Instagram, so it's TrueKanda, and super weird, but also that organic 3D shit that I like so much. And it's just that. Yeah, it just crosses that line of like, whoa, like this is super, super weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something about like flesh and like goop.
Dude, it's like almost like gory.
Yeah, it's almost like I could see people that are into gore, like, I don't know, like Rob Zombie shit, maybe crossing over and liking this.
But I'm so fascinated by it because
It's
it's
so
like,
dark. It's weird.
yeah, it's super weird.
It's kind of
super
scary.
weird. Straight up. Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up. Straight up. But what the thing with that is like that surpasses the the ceiling of normality, and they are also very successful is the thing. Like Jesse Kanda is like well off, but it surpasses that ceiling of normality, and it's well done. Like there's ability there, and that's what I find so fascinating about it. Is it's like, okay, this is not only weird, but it's not weird and shitty. It's like, this is like, yo, you meticulously did this as an artist, and I want to understand why. And then you start to get like, oh, this is the only thing that can make you feel like that. That's why they do it, because it's like, this is a fascinating feeling that this kind of brings out of you. It's that gross, that kind of like gross, organic, and it's like
kind of like that putrid, repulsive feeling.
Almost
like,
and then it's like, when I think about it, that's the only artist that can bring that kind of version out of me. When I see it, like I feel that.
Yeah.
The same way when you hear like a sad song, you feel sad. It's like, oh, this is like disgusting. But like they made that with like 3D, and it made me feel like that's disgusting. That's like fascinating.
Yeah. Did you ever watch any of Tool's music videos?
No, dude, I'm sleeping. So, no, that's a lie. The new promo stuff for their album. So for their,
you should just, is your computer in front of you?
Yeah.
Just like Google Tool Schism video, and you'll see a couple frames from it.
Yeah.
That might hit you. So their guitar player, Adam Jones, was like a VFX artist for film as well.
Yeah.
And he was way into practical effects like claymation and suits.
Oh, whoa, this is like that exact shit. Yeah, man.
And so it kind of gives me, not quite the same as Jesse Kanda, because it's not quite as like fleshy, but he's sort of dark, and at moments I feel a little repulsed or grossed out by certain things.
Yeah.
It's more like mystical and aliens than it is like gore.
Yeah.
But there's a little overlap.
I saw a couple frames, and it's like, this is all fascinating. Dude, I need to like actually dive into Tool more, because I've just like have been painfully sleeping on Tool.
I like Tool a lot. I would definitely recommend. I mean, it's hard for me to know, because I'm such a fan. It's just one of those, like, I'll recommend them to people, and it's they either love it or they hate it. Like, it's like Lauren. It's the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
I think you might get some inspiration, and I would love to be known in your memory as the person that pushed you to get into Tool, and then maybe they inspire one of your new frames or one of your new songs or something.
They might, man. I mean, like, I've already, like, you know what? My favorite thing with Tool's branding right now, though, is the type, like the
font.
typography. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is like, man, it looks like this guy. It looks really similar to this dude that my homie Safe Haven is doing on the internet right now. But it's just so fucking cool. Like, where does that style even come from? You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but like, that's such a unique look of type.
It's based off so their drummer, who I'm also like a massive. That's what got me into Tool. It was like, started learning drums. He's way into the occult and masonry and like Aleister Crowley and like old school magic. And that's where some of that font stuff comes in. It's based on like secret society stuff.
That makes a ton of sense, actually.
And so like I got their new like VIP package with their new album, whatever, and they sent me like this letterhead with that same type font on their new album, Fear Inoculum. And it's like it's like this letter that comes in, and it has all this old esoteric language, and it's like basically inviting you to join the cult of Tool. But it's like tongue-in-cheek satire, like it's not a real cult.
Right.
But they love they love the occult. That's part of their branding.
Yeah.
And so I my guess would be it has something to do with like a masonry or ancient magic or like old secret societies from Europe. The kind
I'm
of
trying to get.
I guess.
I'm trying to. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I'm trying to get a tattoo artist that can just nail that look. Because that would be awesome. I think Anyway. Yeah, that's a cool ass type font. I'm always trying to get better at type because I'm really terrible at it. I've never made my own font, but there's people out there that like Safe Haven that just like bangs them out, just freestyles fonts, and they're awesome.
Is that a music artist or a visual artist?
Safe Haven is yeah, he's a visual artist. He goes by Safe Haven HQ on Instagram.
Safe Haven HQ. Shout out to Safe Haven HQ.
Yeah, dude.
So, oh, nice. Let me check this out. Oh, sweet. Are these album covers that he's doing?
No, he just makes them, man.
Okay, so yeah, this is cool. Some of this reminds me. Go ahead.
He does do commission work. Like there's a bunch of commission work that he has out there, but for the most part, from my understanding, the stuff on his Instagram is just like they're like passion projects.
Damn, this one. It's so hard to describe like certain aesthetics. Like it's just like music. He's got one that has sort of like a. Do you ever play a game? I don't know. This might be a long shot on PS1 or PS2 called Wipeout. It's like anti-gravity sci-fi racing. It's like hovercrafts racing.
Maybe.
Ah, damn it! They hired basically a design team, like a marketing branding agency, to create all these fake racing companies and corporations and logos for like this futuristic future. And anyway, there's a certain aesthetic I associate with that series, and he's got a couple pieces on here that it's like anime, sci-fi anime, maybe. Do you watch anime at all? That's one thing I didn't ask.
No, I'm not fully into it. I have a few, like the cliches. Like I'm a big fan of Ghost in the Shell, and Akira. Like that's like a given.
That's the best though, for a reason.
Exactly. I mean, there's like some really good shit, but like there's stuff like I've been sleeping on. So I talked briefly like on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook. I just like made this post about how much shit I've been pulling from Ghost in the Shell. And my sister is like a big anime fan, but what I didn't realize, because like I just looked at it from a distance when I was in high school, like, nah, that's like weird. When my sister was all into anime.
It is weird though.
Yeah, totally. But my sister like put me onto this like laundry list of just like all of these animes that are aesthetically like super similar to Ghost in the Shell. And so I need to go through all that and see what's really going on, because dude, Ghost in the Shell is like shitting on what people are doing in the US with that aesthetic. Like it's like Blade Runner level, like way before Blade Runner.
Yeah,
like
Ghost in it's a legend. It's one of like the most popular legendary animes for a reason, because yeah. And the did you see the like US version with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, I didn't watch it because like I watched the trailer and I was like, nah.
There were moments. There was moments where some of the set designs, specifically, they come up on this like geisha girl that's like hooked into the net, and she's got all these like cords, and they're like in this big cooling unit. There were a few scenes where the art direction was really, really awesome, but overall, it was definitely a letdown for sure.
Yo, dude. Speaking of letdowns, oh my god, dude. Netflix is like pushing this new like Ghost in the Shell like 3D.
Oh my god! And it's like it looks like a cheap kids CGI bullshit. Like, what is up with that?
Dude. So whack! Like, how they do her like that? How are they gonna just fuck her up like that? It's so messed up, man.
You know what? Netflix has been going downhill. I'll say it, because like for a while, Netflix original usually meant like decent, high quality, probably good chance it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And now I log into Netflix. There's so many originals, and they're like redoing, like they do these crime dramas over and over again with like a generic name, like Lost City, Detectives, blah blah blah. Like there's, and the same thing with they have put out some good anime that were Netflix originals that like were high quality animation, like really high quality animation. So I know they can do it. But I don't know I don't know who signed off on this new Ghost in the Shell, but they should be fucking fired.
They should be. That character designer is trash for doing that. That is fucking terrible, dude. It looks like, that looks like a early Kingdom Hearts character, or like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like Final Fantasy VII character or some shit.
Do you? I might be too old. There was an early, like one of the first CGI cartoons was called Reboot. Maybe you've run across it as like a nostalgia thing.
Oh man, that would be no. I don't even know about that.
Did you ever get into I think it's called? How are you gonna laugh? I think it's the aesthetics called vaporwave, like that '80s synth sort of. I don't know what you call it. Vaporwave, I guess.
Totally. When I was doing design earlier on, like I want to say like, so it's 2019. Yeah, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. Probably my clients were like mostly vaporwave inspired. It was mostly like, I want you to do some crazy vaporwave aesthetic stuff.
So a lot of that vaporwave stuff came from like really early CGI. Like that was some of the nostalgia stuff, and Reboot was one of them. Vaporwave kind of came and went. I could see that now. You could get a lot of work, and then
I got a ton, at the time. But that's like memes, though. You know what I mean? It's like meme culture.
Vaporwave and meme culture are like two hands of the same coin.
Yeah, dude. Like, I feel like it came and went the way it did because, like, the same way memes do. Like who, like you never say "damn Daniel" anymore. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like that's kind of like the way I feel about vaporwave, where it's like, we all know this happened, but like no one's really still. I don't know. No one's still really about it like that, aesthetically at least.
What's the most non-dark thing you're into? Like maybe something that people would never guess that you're into based on your music and your visuals.
Seinfeld.
Damn. Do you watch what's it, Curb Your Enthusiasm as well?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay, nice.
Larry David. Awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Like I'm like, the reason I bring that up is because I'm like so into that. You know what I mean? Like it would be one thing if I was like, yeah, I like to watch Seinfeld when I'm bored, but like no, dog, like
you're into Seinfeld.
Yeah, dude. Like I've seen like every episode. Like I've ran through the entirety of the series. Maybe like I'm probably on my 7th round right now in the past like year or two, something like that.
And for context, for those who don't know off the top of their head, how many episodes? There's a lot of episodes.
It's like fucking 9 seasons of like 25 episodes, dude. It's like it's a lot.
So 7 times through. How many episodes inside? I can't spell this shit. 180, I think.
Yeah, there's a total of 180 episodes. Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot.
So I'm on like round 7 right now, something like that. I can like, dude, man, I can hash it out. Me and my boy Tim, he goes by Viceive. We were at this like after party after this Rochester show, and my other homie David was like, he's like Seinfeld off. Like if you're really about Seinfeld, like we had like a drunk competition, and I was schooling this fool, man.
Like a memory recall sort of name the line or episode thing.
Yeah, like we were just like fucking dumb shit, like who was Jack Klompus and shit like that, like super deep Seinfeld references, you know? And like, man, no, I'm on it, dude. I know that's a whole universe to me.
I've seen a lot of Seinfeld. I'm, not going to claim to be anywhere near as well versed in Seinfeld as you, but a standout episode for me that's always stuck with me for some reason is one of the funniest episodes is when he has a chess game with his penis in his imagination about a girl that he doesn't really like her. She's hot, but he's like not into her personality. And so he's like having this debate while they're playing chess, and the penis version of himself is like wearing a little helmet. And
That's one of like the only like, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's like one of the only like gags where they get like so like, I want to say like gimmicky with it. Like that's like they don't do a lot of those like goofy ass jokes. Like it's always like Larry David style comedy. But that's like that episode is unique because that scene is this like out of character almost for the show. where like Jerry is now in a huge dick costume and playing chess with himself in like what looks like heaven. Like it's all like dark and smoky in there, if I remember right.
Yeah. Well, it's like they're at his table in his living room, but it's like the lighting's all changed because it's in his mind. You know what I mean? It's like in his mind.
Yeah. God, it's been a minute since I've seen that one though. Man,
that one and the goldfish episode when they're trying to find their car in the parking lot.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That one stands out.
Kramer like broke his hand or something like that on that episode. He like slams the trunk and like he like genuinely like broke a bone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he gets like injured. Like he was fucked up when he like slammed that trunk in real life. In real life, yeah. I know that because I have that season with the commentary and I've watched through. I watched through with the commentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce you for the podcast when I record it, like bass music producer and like world's greatest Seinfeld fan or something.
Dude, there's people out there that will school me, that's for sure. But I would be confident in aficionado. I'll be all right with that one.
Sweet, man. Well, I'll put all the applicable links into the podcast description. But where can people find your shit?
I like my Instagram, man. Like
that's the
I know
best
that's
way?
like, yeah, I feel like that's kind of cheesy and like I don't have a huge following, but that's the only platform where you can show your shit, really, like your full work if you're like an audio visual guy. So my Instagram is at levitate.mp3. My YouTube just hit 1,000 subs. I've only been really working on it for like a year, so I'm pretty stoked on that. My YouTube is youtube.com/levitateofficial. On SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/levitatemusic. Spotify is spotify.com/insano artist link that there's no way I can rehearse.
Yeah, I'll find it though. I'll put it in there.
I'm pretty sure I show up after I have the delta in my name, so it makes it really difficult for people.
But I remember on SoundCloud that being a bitch trying to find you.
Yeah, it's because there's another Levitate that is just fucking up my SEO.
Hey, that's what I do for a living, so I can help you.
Dude, yeah, that might help, dude.
Dude, this podcast, just wait. In like 5 months, if you type in video game podcast, this podcast will be like the whole first page.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Do you know about Wikipedia articles?
I have used Wikipedia articles to do link building to get rankings, but I'm not like a pro at like going in and getting my edits. You know, there's like a whole art to like going in and doing shit on Wikipedia.
I need, dude, like I'll literally put money on it. Like I need someone to make me a Wikipedia page. Like the power in that, when you have that and it's up there for real as an artist, that's huge. That's like a big thing.
I could definitely know someone in my marketing circles. I could track someone down for you.
Word. And preface to all of that, the one thing they always talk about, they're like, oh, what reference links do you have? Like you need press, dog. Like, so people will like
Wikipedia. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, so people will shoot me down because they're going to be like, in order to make a Wikipedia article, you need this huge list of press references, right? And they just assume that I don't. Dude, I have a literal Google Drive with like 200 press references of Levitate. Like I'm in there with the resources. I just like don't have anyone that knows how to build a Wikipedia article.
I could find it out. Yeah, I definitely could poke around into some of the marketing groups I'm in. I know guys that I use Wikipedia for like in link building, which is, for those who don't know, or maybe you don't know, it's like basically how to get the Google algorithm to like you. It's one of the factors it looks at is how many links are coming from different sites and pointing to you. And links from Wikipedia are really good because Wikipedia is like this behemoth on the internet. And it's very powerful with website domains. So I'm assuming the guys that can get me links on Wikipedia can also either themselves or link me up with somebody who can, because that's what they do. They create pages or they edit pages that make sense and get links to where you want them to go. So
if that's, because I don't even know where to look. Like that's the thing. I've been posting on Twitter probably like 3 times a year. Like, yo, I got X amount of money on like who can make me a Wikipedia page, that kind of thing. And like I've tried it myself, couldn't figure it out. No way. And so like, dude, I'm like, that's seriously something that like would what's the word for it? Accept any help in that regard.
I just
So
typed
that'd
in
be awesome.
Levitate music, so like some music festival ranks,
Yeah.
and then looks like there's another Levitate. But dude, that alone, as far as like outside of Wikipedia, if you want to show up on different places over the other Levitates, I can do that. That's actually, I can tell you how to do it yourself. If you have a little bit of budget, it's really,
Yeah.
well, I should take that back. Every time I tell someone they can do something themselves when it comes to SEO and marketing, I forget that I have the curse of knowledge. And then when I start to explain them, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I've been doing this for a decade. Like, I can't just, how do I? But this is actually pretty easy. You could go out and basically purchase links, like the Wikipedia links from different vendors, to point to your SoundCloud, to your Spotify, to all your different, because your website, whatever. And when they build the link, so they'll go out, either A, they have their own websites that they own, where they can just go in and like make some article and then put Levitate in the article. And if they spell it like, say you want to show up for Levitate Music or Levitate Bandcamp or Levitate SoundCloud over the other guy, you just build links with that phrase to your properties. So get a website to like write a blog post about anything, and somewhere say Levitate Music, have that highlighted with a link that goes to your SoundCloud or your Spotify profile.
Oh,
and that's how that's how the
yeah.
Google algorithm kind of figures out where things should show up. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense. Dude, yeah. Oh man, I don't know. If I can find someone or like get a plug to, or just figure out this Wikipedia shit, dude, I have crazy amount of press links on the internet. Like, that's just such an underutilized thing that I just have. And I haven't let it go for like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, as I get another article, I'll be like, add it to the list.
You just put it in the drive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know for some reason this is going to come through. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, thank you for that.
Yeah,
tip.
you could definitely. I'll find someone, and yeah, if you definitely want some help or like some easy help on how to show up over this other Levitate or this fucking music festival. What kind of music? Is it grassroots music festival?
Yeah, it's like some jam band stuff if I remember right, something like that.
Well, I would talk shit, but the first time and only time I did Molly was at a jam band music festival, and I had a fantastic time. So,
yeah,
can't hate it on it too much.
Molly can be fun. I did that when I was younger, much younger.
It's definitely a young men's thing. I did it one time in my early 20s, and I had a fantastic time, but I've never done it again. And it's not like I decided to not do it. It just sort of, I don't know, just never did it.
Yeah. It's one of those things, man. It's not really like addictive, and your brain doesn't really do that thing where you're like, yeah, I could definitely do more of that. It's just like a good time, I think. Yeah. I'm not out there suggesting kids should do Molly. Holy shit. But
yeah, me neither, by the way, for the record.
Yeah, like you can also like it way too much.
Yeah,
but
I had a roommate that was a Molly head, and that might be the reason why I never got into it after that one time. Because I just didn't want my brain to turn into what his brain was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it burns holes in your brain. So there's that. Yeah.
Sweet. So, yeah, I got your music shit. Sorry again for those. We talked about music, though. We didn't talk about, with one of my guests, we spent like 45 minutes on Kanye West. So it's not uncommon, which I was going to bring up his new album with you, but we can save that for another time.
For the record,
Hey, it's got some half-baked ideas, but it's also got some. I like the gospel angle. To me, it feels fresh because I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Kanye for a second.
Okay.
I've been hearing trap and mumble rap and all sorts of for a long time, and I like it. I have liked trap from the beginning, and I'm not even really burnt out of it yet. I still like a lot of trap.
Yeah.
Anything halftime. I think that comes from actually metal and breakdowns, liking the breakdown sections from metal growing up. But the new Kanye album, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird and raw. But I finished the album, and I'm like, let's listen to it again. And then I cycled through it, and for some reason, I'm not going to say it's amazing, but it's like I just like it because I haven't heard anything like it in a long time.
It is really refreshing. I like that one. I like that one tune with all the like the aggressive stomps and shit.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool as
called
fuck.
Selena or something.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that was cool as fuck. By the way, Timbaland is all over that record as a producer.
Really?
Yeah,
I kind of thought he fell by the wayside and wasn't around anymore.
dude, you know that guy's like he's probably got like 100 mil or something. What's his net worth? I'm gonna look that up.
It's probably a lot. I've seen him on. Have you seen those ads for Masterclass where they have like really famous? I've seen him on Masterclass ads.
Yeah, he's yoked too. What's up with that?
He's probably doing some Mexican supplements.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
$85 million. He's got some cash.
Damn, Timbaland. 85 mil. That's crazy.
Dude, my first Timbaland song that I remember is that One Republic. It's Too Late to Apologize. That's the first Timbaland song I remember.
Doesn't he do backing vocals on that song or something funny like that?
Probably. He's I think he does actually. Timbaland, Too Late.
I feel like he does something funny on that song, like super random.
Yeah, hey, the podcast is gonna end. I don't want to talk about Kanye. Oh, we're talking about Kanye. Oh, now we're talking about Timbaland. Anyway, dude, we could talk forever. It's 12 for me. I've had you for a while. I know you got shit to do. I super appreciate the time, just showing up on short notice. Again, I will talk you up in the introduction because I think you're awesome. I love Lauren.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah. And for those, I'll put all the applicable links. Check his shit out. If you're listening, everything he recommended, I would recommend checking it out. I wrote it all down. If something stands out to me, I'll hit you up. Man, I legitimately wish you the best. Like, I want to see you succeed. You remind me of my buddies X and G. I think you just got to keep going, and I think you will be a legend in your own right when the time comes.
Thank you, man. That means the fucking world. That really does. And likewise, I want to see this blog blow up. I'm gonna post up when this goes up. Let me know. I'll post up on all the things about it.
I'm a few weeks ahead. It might be like 3 weeks. I think I got 2 episodes, 2 or 3 weeks.
Gotcha.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I want to see the podcast blow up. Right now is like the perfect time for podcasts. I noticed that it's like now is like the time to do a podcast. So I'm like, man, yeah, I wish you the best too. You have a wonderful vibe and personality. Real talk.
I think you should do, speaking of, like, I think more artists should do a podcast. Like, if you're not going to go the mysterious route, maybe you should, like, I don't know, maybe talk about, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking real time.
Okay. No, I've thought about this too. Like, it's weird that you say that because this past week I've like had a lot of thoughts about that. You know what? Like, this sounds funny, but like, honest to God, I might do a podcast when I'm single. It's because like my free time in my life, like my personal time, yeah, it's a bit.
Damn women.
Well, you know, like I work so much on LEViT, like too much, honest. I on a personal level, too much. On a business level, just the right amount on LEViT. So the very little amount of personal time I have, it goes to my like significant other. And so when she's moving like super far away in a few months, and so maybe around that time I might do a podcast because I know a lot of artists that pass through Seattle, and I have this really crazy streaming setup in my place, so I can do it like pro quality in real time. And so it would be fun to like just whenever an artist passes through Seattle, just be like, hey man, stop by the studio, like let's do a podcast. But I don't know. It just seems like another thing on my plate, and that seems so overwhelming.
It is definitely that. Like when I decided to do it, my business partner, he actually kind of got mad at me. He's like, I'm sort of offended you're doing a podcast. Like we got plenty of shit. We got plenty of shit to work on. Like why the fuck are you adding a pod? You could already do like what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I just know me. It's going to happen. I want to do it, so it's going to happen. Like otherwise,
that's cool.
I don't know. It's like I don't know what the other option is. Like to kill yourself, I guess. Like, I'm not trying to be like
fucking anything. Yeah.
But I just like sometimes I have this feeling like, do you ever get the feeling that we're really on autopilot? Like you're kind of programmed, and you're going to do what you do no matter what.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, that's like dude. That's like a lot of the reason that I just like find myself in the place that I'm at, because it was like I start making music and it's like, well, I'm not gonna not do this forever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like, yeah, that's what it's gonna be. So let's do it. You know, I get that. I definitely get that.
Well, I think you should do a podcast. You obviously know a lot of artists both on the visual side and on the audio side. I think it would be interesting for people like fans like me to get more insight to your creative process or life, like just your life in general. Then also, I know you're going to be connected to a lot of other artists that I would be interested in. And so if you interviewed them and brought them on, I think the guest model for podcasts is great because it's like, you get I think when you were talking about EDM versus hip hop cross pollination, I think the cross pollination for podcasts generally is pretty good because you really get to hear someone for an hour or 2 hours, and then you remember them. Like there's artists that I would have never found, but I heard them on some sort of podcast, and because I liked them on the podcast, I ended up being more open to their music. And I know that if I would have heard their music without the preface of the podcast, it probably wouldn't have stood out to me, and I would have forgot about it.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. I think personality is something that's like the main thing that's missing from electronic stuff. Like every other genre and scene has like a lot of personality, artist to artist. That's not really the case with electronic music. So yeah, no, I totally agree, man. It would be fun. Maybe, who knows?
Last and hardest question, which is I've always hated this question when people ask me, how would you classify your music?
Oh yeah, dog. That is like
it's the worst question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's definitely like digital. It's definitely, but I don't know, dude. I see, like all the old analogies I used to use are like so not fitting anymore. How do I classify music? Dude, yeah, I always just say dark electronic shit. I don't really know.
Okay, that's what I'll say in the. I didn't want to say something in the intro and be like, "What the fuck? That's not my music." I don't want to use the wrong adjectives or whatever.
Dude, actually, when people drop genres, the one that I really genuinely do like is electronica. Yeah, because it's that 90s kid shit. You actually said something
I said
about
that earlier.
Yeah, and I've said that for a few years now because I'm like, I just make electronic shit that I think is really cool. Sometimes it sounds like dubstep. Sometimes it sounds like D&B. Sometimes it's like fucking techno even. Like, I don't know. I just make the shit that sounds really cool. But when you look at the larger palette of it, it's like before this whole EDM bubble became a big thing, people just called that shit electronica. And that was the end. That was it. You know what I mean?
Did you ever listen to a band called The Refused?
No.
Oh, they had this album called The Shape of Punk to Come, where it was like it was like metalcore and punk, but they would put these electronica influences that weren't EDM. Anyway, just basically what you're saying is we're on the same page. Like I associate the word electronica with 90s electronic before the EDM craze took America over.
Yeah, totally. Like, man, I just wrote this song. Like, I would totally fucking call electronica. Like, this shit that I have a song dropping on the 7th. That'll be out by the time this thing is out.
Yeah.
But on November 7th, man, like, I got a song that's dropping. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, I'm like singing on it and shit, kind of like I'm doing the droney thing. And it's like, there's like vocoder shit in there that sounds like 80s. I don't know what that shit is, but like, to me, that feels like electronica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like this is like electronic music. I don't know what the fuck outside of that to call it,
Analogy I've been using that you might like and I might use on the intro is like it's electronica music you can listen to in headphones and get lost in, but at the same time, if you're at a club, we can also get down.
Yeah,
you can do both.
Up.
Yeah,
straight up, and like that's not even like. A lot of artists in the game are like so adamant about their music being playable. Like a lot of my stuff is like dancey, but it's not because I like wanted to go off in the club. It's nice though. That's like cool when that works. But like, yeah, my shit is way more like I'm trying to like really entertain y'all. You know what I mean? And write some shit that I think is fucking awesome.
Who was the promoter that brought you out in SLC? Was it Taryn?
No, that was Omar.
That was Omar brought you out?
Yeah, Omar brought me out. Yeah.
I thought that was the Smoke Signals or a bass, whatever. There's a monthly bass show that Sky. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. Have you come twice? Am I conflating two shows?
No, because so Omar did Sky because he was getting into he did like a Damn Son takeover, and at the time,
oh yeah,
he was trying. That was like his way to. I think that was like the first like thing he did at Sky or something like that. Like that was like him trying to get involved with that club and whatnot. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, Omar definitely brought me out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. When you talked about like someone who brought you out, and they made a collective, and like we're gonna book Levitate, and like it kind of pumped him out. Me and Omar, we brought out this guy. I don't even know if he's still making music. I think it's called Filibuster. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I haven't.
He makes like, I would say closer to like Pretty Lights, like hip hop, sort of. I don't even call it glitch, electronic hip hop, something along the lines of that. But that, like, he's always been a special artist in my mind because he's the first guy Damn Son brought out, like brought someone in. And I could see that for whoever you were talking about earlier, whoever brought you out to, I think you said Rochester. Yeah. They will always remember you. Like, just so you know, from being on the other side of that spectrum, like, they will always remember you.
That'd be so sick. I spent, like, days with those dudes, too, because I flew in, like, a day early and left a day late or something like that. So we were really chilling, you know? But, yeah. They're good ass people out there in Rochester. That's Labyrinth agency.
Labyrinth? Is that the collective or the?
Yeah, that's like the production crew. Labyrinth agency. Fire. Awesome people.
So if you're out there in that area, somehow hearing this, check them out. They booked Levitate, so they must be cool.
Yes, they're awesome people.
All right, man. I'm gonna hit the stop button. Levitate music. Links in the description. Seinfeld, Blade Runner, Darkness, a bunch of other shit, and very little video games. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. It was a blast. See you guys later. Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep.
Yo, and that is the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Shout out to Levitate. Check his stuff out. As always, spread the good news of the gaming memories gospel. Do your duty. You'll get blessings. And next week on the podcast, I don't know who we have because I don't have anybody booked yet, but I will get somebody. Until then, sit tight, friends. See you next time. Cheers.